What's up everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto met Ryan, the 4th Hokage. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. And also check the description box to original creator of this beautiful creation. Inside the Hokage building, Ryan sat in the Hokage's seat, his head pounding. He glanced over the piles of documents in front of him, his attention caught by reports concerning the Mist, Rock, and Cloud Shinobi, each preparing for their next move. The Third Ninja War was fast approaching. Since being transmigrated into the world of Naruto and acquiring a range of abilities, Ryan had spent countless hours practicing ninjutsu, refining chakra, and learning from his sensei Tsunade. He had even saved Uzumaki Kushina from certain doom. Over time, he had carefully positioned himself to become Hokage, all in preparation for the war he knew was coming. Despite having reached the pinnacle of Kage-level strength, Ryan knew it wasn't enough. The powerful foes emerging in the later stages of the Naruto series, beings capable of destroying the entire ninja world, far surpassed his current abilities. Even with his Kage-level strength, he was unsure whether he could end the upcoming war. Ryan had achieved his level of power without resorting to shortcuts, making him a standout among transmigrators. Just as he pondered how to confront the looming conflict, a sudden ding interrupted his thoughts. Ding! First Hokage Senju Hashirama has joined the group chat. Second Hokage Senju Tobirama has joined the group chat. Fifth Hokage Tsunade has joined the group chat. A series of strange mechanical noises echoed in Ryan's mind. Still nursing his headache, his eyes widened as a brilliant rainbow light flashed before him. The long-awaited cheat had finally arrived. In an instant, Ryan found himself standing in the middle of a vast white space. Before him loomed a massive round table, resembling the legendary Knights of the Round Table. "Welcome to the Konoha Hokage chat group," a notification echoed in the room. This chat group was unlike anything Ryan had ever imagined. It was a place where members could exchange information, intelligence, and supplies. It existed to provide cross-world assistance to its members. As the group's leader, Ryan was granted the ability to invite others, call meetings, and remove members as needed. The message continued, explaining that the group needed at least 5 members to unlock the World Leaderboard feature, and 10 members to activate the Conquest mode, allowing them to invade other worlds. Intrigued, Ryan processed the information. He'd read about similar chat groups in fanfiction, typically restricted to one world. But this one had the potential to conquer other worlds. While it wasn't exactly like the stories he'd encountered, it was still impressive, an unexpected tool for the challenges ahead. Ryan quickly realized that the members of this chat group were unlike those he had encountered in other stories. Instead of random characters from other animes, only the Hokages of Konoha were gathered here. In the future, they could potentially join forces to visit other worlds, a unique opportunity for anyone who is stranded in another world. The only regret Ryan had was that the cheat had arrived too late. He had already become Hokage on his own, without its assistance. As he observed the virtual screen in front of him, Ryan glanced over the current list of members. Group members. 4th Hokage. Ryan, Group Admin. 1st Hokage. Senju Hashirama, Group Member. 2nd Hokage. Senju Tobirama, Group Member. 5th Hokage. Senju Tsunade, Group Member. Surprisingly, 3 of the Hokages pulled into the group were from the Senju clan. Ryan couldn't help but smirk at the thought of replacing Tsunade with the 3rd Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. It would be interesting to see how Hashirama and Tobirama would react when they learned that their beloved apprentices had wiped out the Senju clan. Given Tobirama's fiery temper, he imagined the man would be absolutely livid. Ryan's attention shifted to the invitation button, which remained inactive, its dull gray color indicating that he couldn't pull any more members into the group for the time being. It seemed he would have to wait for the next meeting before the World Leaderboard function could be activated. Grasping the nature of the cheat, Ryan pressed the button to initiate a meeting. The chat group beeped in response, and a gate of shimmering light instantly appeared in the empty space before him. In the Senju residence within Konoha village, the 1st Hokage, Senju Hashirama, lay weakly on his bed. His wife, Uzumaki Mito, tended to him with gentle care, while his brother, Senju Tobirama, stood at the side, visiting. Ahem, Hashirama coughed, his voice fragile but filled with concern. What's been happening in the village lately? Tobirama glanced at his older brother, his gaze laced with worry as he saw the toll Hashirama's health had taken. Don't worry about the village, big brother. Your health is what matters most now. Other villages are likely watching your condition as well. If your health worsens, the ninja world might descend into chaos again. Hashirama's gaze shifted to his frail body, and a sense of helplessness settled over him. His battle with Madara had left its scars, and his health had only declined steadily since. Time was running out. Hashirama sighed heavily. I've always tried to make peace. But if I'm gone, everything we built might just crumble. This world, it was always on the edge of destruction. His hand weakly clenched the sheets. I wish I could do more, but I feel like I'm running out of time. Tobirama's expression darkened, his usual sharp demeanor softening. You've done more than anyone could ever ask, brother. But this world, it has always been fragile. I just hope the next generation can carry it forward. He clenched his fists, not for the first time questioning the fate of the village they'd worked so hard to build. I won't let it fall apart easily, not while I'm still here. Mito placed a soothing hand on Hashirama's shoulder. Don't worry too much, dear. You've created something that will last. The people of Konoha won't let your dream be in vain. Tobirama snorted, his tone more practical. The dream, huh? It's always been more of a battle than a dream, big brother. Still, I'll see to it that we're prepared for whatever comes next. No matter how many times we had to rebuild it. Hashirama gave a small, tired smile at his brother's stubbornness. Always so serious, Tobirama. You're the one who will keep this place standing after I'm gone. Before Tobirama could respond, a sudden, unexpected voice echoed in Hashirama's mind. Dang, you have joined the Konoha Hokage chat group. The group owner, Ryan, has called for a round-table meeting. Please attend on time. Startled, Hashirama's eyes widened, and he searched the room in confusion, looking for the source of the strange voice. There was nothing visible, nothing that seemed out of place. Mito, ever calm, looked at him with concern. What is it, dear? You look so confused. Tobirama, frowning, turned his gaze from Hashirama to the room. What's going on? Did you hear that, Mito? No, I didn't hear anything, she said, puzzled. Tobirama's eyes narrowed suspiciously. That doesn't sit right with me. There are no chakra fluctuations, and there's no genjutsu. So what in the world is this voice? Hashirama's mind raced, and he focused on the thin screen that had appeared before him, displaying the words Hokage chat group. His curiosity piqued, and he decided to investigate further. In the final moments of his life, with the weight of the world on his shoulders, Hashirama gathered every ounce of strength he had left. Count me in, he muttered, his voice resolute despite his weakening state. The moment the words left his lips, a surge of vibrant, colorful light enveloped him. Before he could fully comprehend what was happening, he was whisked away, and transported to the location of the meeting, leaving behind the world he knew. Mito and Tobirama stood in stunned silence. Mito's hand went to her mouth, her eyes wide. Hashirama. Tobirama grunted, a rare expression of frustration crossing his face. I swear, big brother never listens. But there was a strange glint of concern in his eyes as he stared at the space where his brother had just been. In the another universe, it's almost over. This war will come to an end after the official alliance with Hokage in a month's time, said the second Hokage Senju Tobirama inside the Hokage building, as he looked at the good news in his hand. He let out a sigh of relief. This news was signaling the end of the first shinobi war after many years. Sarutobi Hiruzen and others in the room also expressed their joy upon hearing the second Hokage's words. Really? This is good news, exclaimed one of them. Yeah, it's finally over, added another. Ever since the death of the first Hokage, other countries had been eyeing Konoha and launched sudden attacks after Senju Hashirama's passing. Previously, they had restrained themselves due to Hashirama's presence, but without him, they took the opportunity to wage war against Konoha. Cloud Shinobi Village and the Country of Thunder were the first to attack, and under the leadership of second Hokage Senju Tobirama, Konoha's elite shinobi stood against the entire shinobi world on the battlefield while also preserving their village's heritage. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Danzo, and Uchiha Kagami had also grown rapidly during this time. Just as everyone breathed a sigh of relief, Danzo raised a concern. Teacher, although we are going to form an alliance with Hokage, the alliance is taking place in the Land of Thunder. We should exercise caution. Hearing Danzo's words, Senju Tobarama nodded in agreement. However, being the fastest shinobi in the ninja world, he believed he could handle any emergency that might arise. Ha ha ha, don't worry, he reassured them. Every ninja village has depleted its resources over the past few years. The supplies in each village are not enough to sustain continued fighting. Danzo fell silent after hearing his response. Just as Senju Tobarama was about to speak further, a mechanical prompt suddenly sounded in Tobarama's mind. Dane, you have joined the Konoha Hokage chat group. Group owner Ryan has called for a round-table meeting. Please attend on time. Senju Tobarama was instantly alerted by the sudden beep. Despite the war having ended, he remained cautious, knowing that many shinobi from other villages had been sent to assassinate him, the Hokage. What's the matter, teacher? Asked Sarutobi, concerned. Are there any enemies? What's the situation? Added another. Seeing Senju Tobarama suddenly become wary, Sarutobi and the others exchanged glances. They scanned the Hokage's office, reassured by the presence of Anbu ninjas everywhere. After finding no signs of any intruder, Senju Tobarama was taken aback. The reminder echoed in his mind once again, indicating that it was not a genjutsu and that there were no chakra fluctuations. Realizing that he needed to investigate further, Tobarama resolved to enter the chat group space and find out what was happening. With the Flying Thunder God technique at his disposal, he felt confident that there would be no problem. Count me in, he declared, choosing to participate in joining the chat group. Meanwhile, inside the Hokage building, Tsunade faced Naruto's inquiry about letting someone go. After a moment of silence, she responded, yes. Naruto questioned her decision, asking why she allowed Jiraiya to venture into a dangerous place alone. He emphasized that Tsunade should be well aware of Jiraiya's character, referring to him as pervy sage. In response, Kakashi intervened and tried to explain to Naruto, Naruto, you don't understand the fifth Hokage's feelings. Naruto fell silent for a moment upon hearing Kakashi's words. Then he turned and left the room. Before leaving, he looked at Tsunade and made a remark. If pervy sage was the fifth Hokage, he would never let you go to such a dangerous place alone. With that, Naruto left the Hokage building, leaving everyone in the office in a state of silence. Tsunade remained alone in her office, dropping her facade and revealing her true emotions. In her empty office, Tsunade immersed herself in her thoughts until a mechanical reminder abruptly echoed in her mind. Dane, you have joined the Konoha Hokage chat group. Group owner Ryan has called for a round-table meeting. Please attend on time. Surprised by the sudden voice in her head, Tsunade glanced around, noticing no movement or chakra fluctuations. This confirmed that the voice had indeed originated in her mind. Konoha Hokage chat group? Tsunade pondered deeply, contemplating the current state of the ninja world, which was on the brink of crisis. Based on the information she had received from Jiraiya, Pain's next target would be the remaining tailed beasts, leaving her feeling helpless. With these thoughts in mind, Tsunade decided not to hesitate any longer. Count me in, she exclaimed, choosing to participate. Instantly, a burst of colorful light enveloped her, and when she opened her eyes, she found herself in the chat group space. Meanwhile, Ryan, sitting at the top of the round table, observed the colorful light curtain that appeared after the summoning announcement. 3 figures emerged one after another from the curtain. The first was a man with long hair wearing a casual kimono. Hey, what a magical place, exclaimed the man. It feels like my injuries are no longer worsening. The man turned out to be Senju Hashirama, who grew increasingly curious as he observed his surroundings and sensed the changes in his body. At that moment, Senju Hashirama noticed Ryan and, without waiting for him to ask, another figure emerged from behind. The newcomer wore a suit of weather-beaten blue battle armor, radiating an aura of sharpness. Tobarama, eager to find out what was happening in this chat group, was taken aback when he saw the resurrected Senju Hashirama before him. Huh, brother? Tobarama exclaimed, shocked by the sight of his deceased brother standing before him, fully alive and not a result of the impure world reincarnation. Hey, Tobarama, Hashirama responded with surprise. I didn't expect you to be here too. I thought I was the only one who heard it. Before the two could fully communicate, a voice came from behind them, exclaiming, Grandpa? And the second grandpa? Tsunade originally came here to find a way to protect Konoha through the Konoha Hokage chat group. It was like hoping that all will be well, but she decided to participate anyway. As soon as Tsunade entered, she was taken aback to find the deceased elder grandpa and second grandpa standing in front of her. In disbelief, Tsunade exclaimed, "Grandpa? And second grandpa?" Hearing Tsunade's voice, Hashirama and Tobirama, the two grandpas, turned to look behind them. Seeing Tsunade walking out of the light curtain, they couldn't help but be surprised. Tobirama recognized Tsunade instantly, while Hashirama carefully studied her. Especially when Hashirama noticed the jacket with the word, "gambling," written on it, it triggered memories of someone addicted to gambling. Instantly, a figure addicted to gambling appeared in Hashirama's mind. "Huh, are you Suna?" Hashirama exclaimed, shocking Tsunade. Meanwhile, Tobirama looked at the Hokage hat on Tsunade's head once again, his face pensive. Just as the three of them were shocked by their unexpected reunion, a voice suddenly broke the silence. "Ahem, now that we're all here, the three Hokages should take their seats first. This is the Konoha Hokage chat group, we are all family. Please have a seat and let's chat." Ryan, the fourth Hokage, spoke, smiling and motioning for them to sit. Confused, Tobirama asked, Who are you?" Ryan quickly turned around, revealing the fourth Hokage's royal robe. "I am the fourth Hokage, Ryan." Seeing the Hokage robe on Ryan's body, Tobirama nodded in recognition, while Hashirama remained puzzled. But those doubts could be addressed later. Just as the two were about to sit down, Tsunade, suspicious of Ryan, stared at him intently from the side. "No, the fourth Hokage was Namikaze Minato?" Tsunade questioned. In response, Ryan smiled indifferently. "The world we live in is separate. The Konoha Hokage chat group pulls us, who have become Hokage in these separate worlds, into this chat group. As for me, in the original world, the history is the same as what you know of the fifth Hokage. But the world I live in is like a parallel world. In this world, I successfully overthrew the third Hokage's rule and became Hokage ahead of time instead of Namikaze Minato." Ryan explained. Among the three Hokages, Tobirama was the quickest to accept the explanation, especially after seeing Hashirama alive. Tobirama understood the concept of parallel worlds. After all, he studied and developed time-space ninjutsu and even forbidden jutsu to bring back people from the pure world. But Hashirama in front of him was alive, not reanimated. "So that's it. Since you are the fourth Hokage, Ryan, what about you, Tsunade?" Tobirama inquired. Tsunade realized the situation and responded, "Fifth Hokage." "Fifth Hokage?" Tobirama repeated. Tsunade had become the fifth Hokage. Tobirama fell into deep thought, understanding that something significant must have happened to Konoha during this period. Finally catching up with the information, a worried Hashirama asked, "Is Konoha village alright now?" He couldn't imagine the state of Konoha village with Tsunade as Hokage. Thinking about Tsunade's gambling addiction and the jacket with "gambling" written on it, Hashirama's heart sank. He feared that Konoha had fallen victim to Tsunade's gambling tendencies. Facing Hashirama's question, Tsunade pondered for a moment and replied, "Everything is fine." This response brought some relief to Hashirama. As long as Tsunade didn't place bets on Konoha itself, he felt somewhat reassured. With the three Hokages seated, the meeting officially began. Tobirama turned to Ryan and asked, "Fourth Hokage, as the group leader, can you tell us what this chat group does? What benefits does it bring?" Ryan pondered for a moment before answering. At this stage, the chat group's functions have not been fully unlocked. We only hold meetings every 3 months. Currently, you can only exchange information here. There is no way to do anything else apart from chatting. However, when the number of people in the chat group reaches 5, the world ranking function will be activated. The chat group will rank our respective worlds, and rewards will be given according to the rankings. As for the specific benefits, I don't know yet. The three Senju showed thoughtful expressions upon hearing Ryan's explanation. They now had a preliminary understanding of the chat group's purpose. The exact rankings and rewards would only be known when the fifth person joined. While they were contemplating, Ryan shared another significant piece of news. When the number of people in the chat group reaches 5, the chat group will also unlock another function, cross-world mutual aid. If any of your worlds face a major crisis that cannot be resolved, you can ask for help in the chat group. All the Hokages will work together to solve it. The faces of the other 3 Hokages instantly showed shock upon hearing this news. They hadn't expected the chat group to have such an ability. Tsunade, in particular, displayed immense joy on her face. She had been concerned about how to deal with Pain's invasion, but now she realized that if her grandpa could come to help, there was no need to worry. This function alone brought great satisfaction to the 3 Hokage. Tsunade, filled with relief, asked Ryan anxiously, "Fourth Hokage, when can we add the 5th person? It's a matter of Konoha's safety." Hashirama and Tobirama looked at Ryan curiously, wondering what crisis Konoha had faced in Tsunade's world that had her so anxious. As caring grandfathers, they were ready to lend a hand when the function was activated. "Well, we'll have to wait until the next meeting," Ryan replied, addressing Tsunade's concern. "In 3 months?" Upon hearing the info, Tsunade nodded slightly, realizing that she would have to wait for 3 months and hope that Pain wouldn't pose a threat during that time. Jiraiya had just sent back information indicating that Pain wouldn't attempt to capture the 9 tails in such a short period, so there was still time. As the weight of the situation sank in, Hashirama looked at Tsunade with curiosity. He remarked, "Suna, I never expected you to become the 5th Hokage." "Ha ha ha, how is the Senju clan doing?" Tsunade, still lost in thoughts about how to survive the next 3 months, froze when she heard her grandpa's question. Sadness filled her face, indicating that something terrible had occurred in the future regarding the Senju family. Observing Tsunade's reaction, Hashirama, despite his jovial personality, understood that something dire had befallen the Senju clan. Although Hashirama often displayed a light-hearted demeanor, he was not oblivious to the darkness of the ninja world. As Tsunade remained silent, Hashirama sensed that the Senju clan might have met a tragic fate. Glancing at Ryan, he couldn't help but question, "Fourth Hokage, is my Senju clan alright?" Tobirama, standing beside Hashirama, also looked at Ryan with anticipation. He couldn't fathom how the mighty Senju clan, which had been integrated into Konoha under his leadership, could have been wiped out. The clan's survival had been ensured through the establishment of a single main lineage that resided in the clan's territory and countless others who were integrated into Konoha. Ryan, feeling the weight of their expectations, let out a sigh and nodded. Senju clan is no more, he told them about the current state or lack of the Senju clan to them, causing Tobirama to freeze in place. As the peak period of the second Hokage's reign coincided with that of the Senju clan, Tobirama couldn't comprehend how the once mighty clan could meet its demise. "It's really exterminated?" Tobirama asked in disbelief, hoping for a different answer. He couldn't fathom how the large Senju clan had been completely eradicated. Curious about the details, Tobirama inquired further, what exactly happened? He had planned for the Senju clan's integration into Konoha and believed that their extermination was impossible. Ryan took a moment to collect his thoughts before responding. "In the 17th year of Konoha, the First Ninja World War broke out, and you perished in that conflict. Sarutobi Hiruzen, your disciple, succeeded as Hokage and became the 3rd Hokage. Another disciple, Shimura Danzo, became the Hokage's assistant and established a separate Enbu called the Root, a group of hidden Konoha shinobi operating in the shadows. It was through the actions of these 2 individuals that the Senju clan met its end." The news hit Tobirama like a thunderbolt. As he stood frozen, his initial shock transformed into an icy fury. Hashirama, too, wore a dark expression upon hearing the revelation. For the 2 elderly Hokages, the death of their grandson, Nawaki, on the battlefield was not an issue they would contest. However, the revelation that Nawaki had been manipulated and brutally killed by their own students sent them into a deeper rage. Their anger welled up, generating an intimidating aura within the chat space. "Damn it, how dare they?" Hashirama's voice resonated with fury. Observing their furious reactions, Ryan produced the evidence he had gathered from his own world. Anticipating the possibility of encountering other Hokages, he had prepared beforehand, collecting evidence of the actions committed by the 3rd Hokage and Danzo against the Senju and Uzumaki clans. Obtaining such evidence had not been an easy task. Presenting the evidence, Ryan solidified Tsunade's belief in his words, causing her to strike the table in front of her in anger. After the end of the Second Ninja World War, Tsunade noticed discrepancies and conducted her own investigation, but the truth she discovered was too overwhelming for her to confront her teacher. Consequently, she chose to escape Konoha rather than face the harsh reality of the Senju clan's demise. Nevertheless, the evidence before her now reignited her rage. Hashirama and Tobirama, witnessing Tsunade's reaction, acknowledged the validity of Ryan's claims. The evidence solidified their understanding of the truth. Ryan further explained, those two Hokage and Hokage assistant duo were really capable of anything. As long as anyone came close to power, they will be eliminated. Even if it's the Senju clan, it will not be spared. Not only did they wipe out the Senju clan, but they also eradicated the Uchiha clan. Hashirama, listening intently, frowned even more. Although Tobirama held a negative view of the Uchiha clan, Hashirama had never intended to exterminate them at all. Tobirama's apprehension stemmed from his fear of another Madara emerging. Therefore, he sought to guide and control the Uchiha's power. In fact, he had nurtured individuals like Uchiha Kagami, who was willing to transcend the constraints of the clan and dedicate themselves to the village. To their surprise, Ryan smiled and pointed to his position, stating, "Because I was chosen as the group leader of the chat group, I have access to information beyond my time as the fourth Hokage. So, I know not only the past but also the events that occurred after the fifth Hokage." Tsunade didn't say anything more after hearing that. First Hokage Hashirama and second Hokage Tobirama on the side also recovered from the shock. But at this moment, second Hokage's face was full of bitterness. Who would have thought that the person chosen by himself would massacre the Senju family in the future? I picked such disciples. I can still understand them touching the Uchiha clan. After all, the evil power of Sharingan. It is understandable to be wary of such forces. Following my teachings, after these two came to power, they even dared to wipe out the Senju clan. I'm afraid that slowing down will alert both. When we go back, we must not let these two goods appear on the ninja world stage. Just kill both of them. Thinking of this, second Hokage Tobirama couldn't help but smile. Yes, all of this has not yet happened in my own world. It's enough to kill these two good bastards. Only then did second Hokage Tobirama react. It turns out that this is the real purpose of the chat group. You can completely change history. Tobirama, who opened new world for the other two Hokage, stayed silent for a while and expressed his thoughts. Hearing the thoughts of the second Hokage, Hashirama and Tsunade on the side couldn't help but look at each other. The two of them were even more shocked at this moment. Even Ryan called it wonderful intuition. It can only be said that it is worthy of the second Hokage. I haven't brought it up yet. The second Hokage has figured it out by himself. Looking at the second Hokage with a sudden change in his style, Ryan also hurriedly interrupted. Ahem, before that, I need to understand one thing. That is, what time period are you all in at the moment? When they heard that, second Hokage Tobirama was still a little excited about changing the destiny of the Senju family. Couldn't help but put away the smile on his face. Then he opened his mouth and said, in the 17th year of Konoha, the first ninja war is about to end. I'm going to sign an alliance contract with Hokage in 1 month. At that time, this ninja war will come to an end. Speaking of which, second Hokage Tobirama breathed a sigh of relief. After all, no one wants war. Now that the war is coming to an end, the second Hokage has indeed relaxed a lot. Just after the second Hokage finished speaking, first Hokage Hashirama on the side also patted second Hokage on the shoulder with satisfaction. But Ryan and Tsunade on the side had weird faces now. Seeing this, second Hokage, who was still a little relaxed, couldn't help but tense up. Then he cautiously asked the two of them, could something bad happen? Seeing this, Hashirama looked at the two worriedly. Seeing this, Ryan had no choice but to say, how should I put it? 1 month later, during the alliance meeting, Cloud Shinobi Village's Golden Horn and Silver Horn led the troops to rebel and then killed second Hokage, and destroyed the alliance contract. In order to cover the retreat of Konoha's new Hokage, you stayed behind to hold the fort. You died in this battle. After you died, the First Ninja World War was over. I died on the eve of the end of the Ninja War. If Tobirama didn't know what Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others did in future, he might still accept it. But now, I died after saving these swindlers. This is not something the second Hokage can accept. No wonder the Senju clan will be destroyed. It was because he was about to die. This caused Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo to become lawless after returning. No, I must not let this happen. For a while, second Hokage sat on the seat with inexplicable lights flashing in his eyes, and not a single person knew what he was thinking about. Seeing this, Hashirama quickly said, I've been in Konoha for 10 years now. Nothing should happen, right? Hashirama is also quite curious about what is about to happen to him. I also want to hear what's going to happen next to me. Facing Hashirama's curious baby gaze, Ryan couldn't help and said, Nothing happened, but you will be gone in 2 years. But although it is known that you died in the 12th year of Konoha, no one knows exactly why you died. Knowing that I have 2 years to live, Hashirama didn't have any regrets. Instead, he smiled cheerfully. Is there still 2 years left? Ha ha ha. But I can still last for 2 years, which is not bad. Currently, Hashirama has nothing to hide. He spoke about his body after fighting Uchiha Madara. My body seems to have reached its limit for some reason. The injury continued to worsen. The body also began to weaken day by day. At this time, the reactions of Ryan and the three of them were quite similar. Because there is a lot of speculation about this matter. But most of the guesses are related to the battle in the Valley of the End. Now, the answer is the same. With the first Hokage and second Hokage, all is said and done. Everyone's eyes fell on Tsunade. At this time, Tsunade also quickly adjusted his emotions and said, It's the 63rd year of Konoha, and Jiraiya just died in battle. There is an organization called Akatsuki that is capturing tailed beasts, and now we are only short of Cloud Shinobi's 8 tails and Konoha's 9 tails. It won't be long before that guy named Pain will attack Konoha. Soon, Tsunade introduced the current situation in Konoha. After hearing Tsunade's words, the first and second Hokages understood why Tsunade was so eager at the beginning. I didn't expect that there would be such a crazy organization dedicated to collecting tailed beasts in the ninja world in future. But now that they all are gathered in this Hokage chat group, there is nothing else to not believe. Don't worry, Tsunade. Since there will be a Hokage chat group, that means everything can be changed. That's right, fourth Hokage. Just when Tsunade was worried, first Hokage smiled and patted Tsunade on the head. Then he smiled and looked at Ryan. Facing the eyes of the first Hokage, Ryan also must admire, as expected of first Hokage. Seemingly careless but wise and empathetic. My heart is like a mirror. Now the role of the chat group is directly named. Seeing this, Ryan smiled and said, Of course. Since we can be pulled in by the Hokage chat group, everyone should unite and help each other. Tsunade's problem can be resolved after the next meeting in 3 months. When the 5th group member joins, just turn on the mutual assistance function. But the most important thing right now is you, second Hokage. As Ryan said, all eyes again fell on second Hokage Tobirama. Because the chat meeting is held every 3 months. For those of you who are about to encounter a major crisis in the next 3 months. This is the most important thing to remember. As Ryan said, Hashirama and Tsunade, on the side, also nodded in unison. The second Hokage had a life and death crisis after returning home. If Tobirama could change his own history, that means the possibilities through the chat group are endless for everyone. But at this time, Hashirama noticed a point. He looked towards Ryan with doubt in his eyes. Fourth Hokage, if Tobirama still hasn't changed his destiny after returning. So, what is going to happen? Faced with this problem, he decided to act. Tobirama and Tsunade were also filled with curiosity. Their 2 worlds have recently undergone a change. Ryan pondered for a moment and then said, If you can't change your destiny, let's take the second Hokage as an example. It should be the same as the historical records. He died during the first ninja war. In the chat group, a Hokage world would be lost. Speaking of which, Hashirama and the others understood. In the chat groups, if you want to open more functions, you will need to pull in more Hokage worlds. If Tobirama dies during the first ninja war after returning, then 2 more new Hokage must be added to the chat group to enable new functions. Remembering this, all 4 couldn't help looking at each other. The most important function of the chat group should be to add more worlds to chat? But, do we have 10 Hokage? About this question, I don't know. Hashirama and the others suddenly widened their curious eyes. Even Tsunade is not an exception. It's already the 5th Hokage. Could it be that Konoha will be passed down to the 10th Hokage later? In front of everyone's eyes, Ryan shook his head very calmly. No, as far as I am aware. At most, it has only reached the 7th Hokage. But in the middle, there will be some episodes. Hokage 5.5. His wish was fulfilled and he was killed even sooner after that. Speaking of which, Ryan's eyes instantly locked onto second Hokage Tobirama. So, if second Hokage goes back, it will still die in the First Ninja World War. And if chat rooms cannot add a new Hokage world, the function of the chat group may never be able to open the next function. Hashirama and Tsunade heard this. Immediately, he looked at Tobirama with a worried expression on his face. This may be related to the subsequent function opening of the chat group. Hashirama, it's so interesting to have such a magical place. Make sure that all the features are enabled. As for Tsunade, it's because Konoha in her own world is about to die. Use the follow-up functions available in the chat group. If there are 5 members. Tobirama, be careful on your way back. Yes, second grandpa, please take your own life as the top priority. Faced with the worry of his family, Tobirama naturally understood what was more important. As the first Hokage of people with the spirit of exploration in the history of Konohagakure for all kinds of forbidden ninjutsu, the second Hokage being Orochimaru, Tobirama is more aware of the importance of chat group than anyone else. The function of the connecting parallel worlds. Originally, after hearing his follow-up history, knowing that I had died just to kill those idiot disciples, if I don't bring these idiotic disciples with me when I go back, with the Flying Thunder God technique, who can stop him? But now, Tobirama changed his mind in an instant. Don't worry, everyone, I will not risk my life this time. Everyone nodded at hearing the words. What second Hokage said next unexpectedly caused everyone's faces to change drastically. Everyone, I plan to abdicate when I go back. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen become the third Hokage. Without waiting for Tobirama to finish, Tsunade quickly interjected. Really? Second grandpa, you're confused. How can you make him a Hokage? However, Hashirama held out his hand to stop Tsunade, who was about to say something. Although I don't know what Tobirama wants to do. He must have plans. Then he signaled Tobirama to continue. Seeing this, second Hokage also said, don't worry, because the alliance ceremony in a month's time requires the shadows of both parties to be present. Since I'm not going to be there, I need someone to sign for me. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo go when the time comes. He will be the shadow of Konoha, so he must go, and the alliance ceremony can also be signed. As for whether you can come back alive, it depends on the situation. Speaking of this, Tobirama stopped as well. Tsunade on the side fell silent for an instant. She looked at his grandfather in shock. Even Ryan was quite surprised. It is worth mentioning that he was the Iron Fist kind of Hokage. The second Hokage in memory was the person who made Konoha develop rapidly, including Anbu, Ninja School, Konoha Guard, etc. Look now, I still underestimated this second Hokage. If he hadn't died during the First Ninja War, I'm afraid Konoha is even scarier than before. After hearing about this plan, I was very impressed. Ryan couldn't help but nod in agreement. Great choice. Even Hashirama, who was the eldest brother, also agrees now. He really wanted his younger brother to live. Seeing that everyone agrees with his plan, Tobirama was also relieved. Anyway, in history, the Hokage always dies. The dead third Hokage will also die. By the way, this plan will also get rid of Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo together. He not only changed his own history, but he also helped solve these two idiots. Alright, now that the second Hokage problem has been resolved, do you have any additional comments or thoughts to share? Otherwise, this meeting will come to an end, and we'll wait for the next one in 3 months. At that time, the World Leaderboard function and Cross-Border Mutual Assistance function will be activated. Ryan said, yes. Hashirama and the others suddenly looked at each other. He then shook his head. You already know what you need to know. There are still 2 years left for Hashirama. At that time, there should be a way to treat his body in the chat group. And Tobirama is planning to start his own plan immediately after returning. After all, his time is the most precious. As for Tsunade was looking forward to the 2 functions that will open after the second meeting. Seeing that the 3 of them are fine, Ryan decided to end the meeting himself. As the colorful glow instantly enveloped everyone. After Ryan slowly opened his eyes, he then found himself back in his office. As he looked at the familiar layout in front of me, Hashirama quickly sat up from the bed. "Am I back?" she asked. At that moment, Hashirama noticed that Mito and Tobirama were also present. "What's up, brother? What's going on?" Hashirama inquired. Startled, Hashirama looked up at the sky. Mito was already used to his nervous nature. Tobirama, standing beside them, felt a little bewildered. "What do you mean by coming back? Didn't I just return?" he wondered. "And as soon as I came back, I went to see big brother Hashirama." Faced with Tobirama's doubts, Hashirama hastily waved his hand to indicate he had nothing more to say. However, what Hashirama didn't expect was that, after chatting with them for so long, it turned out that it had only been a blink of an eye. It was amazing. As I looked at the slightly immature Tobirama in front of me, I couldn't help but think about the second Hokage Tobirama whom I had seen in the chat group. They were the same person, yet the Tobirama in front of me still had a few years left before he grew up. However, when I thought about the last plan of second Hokage Tobirama, I couldn't help but stare at Tobirama in front of me intently. I did not expect this kid to come up with such a plan, as if he didn't care about his disciples at all. After a moment of reflection, Hashirama suddenly laughed. That fits Tobirama's character perfectly. What he should do is not hold back at all, just like in the battle between the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan long ago. Senju Hashirama, who was the patriarch, played with Uchiha Madara. However, his younger brother tried his best to kill Madara and Izuna back then. If you don't kill the other party, he will never give up. Looking at my older brother in front of me, I smirked for a while before talking to myself. Tobirama couldn't help but look at Mito beside him. At this moment, Hashirama felt a little uncomfortable being stared at by the two. He hastily asked Tobirama, "How many disciples have you taken in recently?" "What? Yes, big brother," Tobirama replied. When Hashirama mentioned this topic, Tobirama suddenly became alert. "You know too, brother. I have now accepted 3 disciples. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo, and Uchiha Kagami. Especially Kagami, even though he belongs to the Uchiha clan, he has a heart for Konoha. He's a good kid." Upon hearing Tobirama's words, Hashirama almost couldn't help but laugh. "Of course, I know that you have accepted disciples. I also know that your 2 unfortunate disciples wiped out both the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan. In this regard, Hashirama is also straightforward. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo return. Pay attention to these 2 families as well." Faced with Hashirama's orders, Tobirama, although he didn't understand how the 2 families had offended his eldest brother, did not hesitate to obey his words. Moreover, they were just 2 newly recruited disciples. Kick them out as soon as possible. They dared to offend big brother. It seems that these 2 families need to be properly monitored. Soon, Tobirama left the clan house with Hashirama's orders. The 2 small families of the Sarutobi and Shimura clans were soon suppressed by Tobirama. Neither of the families had any idea what happened, except that they saw Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo being kicked out by Tobirama as students. The patriarchs of the 2 families instantly became angry. "2 little brats," one of them exclaimed. "What did you guys do? You made Tobirama-sama so angry. It's done, it's finished, we're through." "What? Am I back?" As I skimmed over everything familiar in front of me, second Hokage Tobirama's eyes also widened. I didn't expect this chat group to be so amazing. But when I saw a few people in the office, especially the 2 standing in the front, second Hokage Tobirama's face darkened instantly. "Hiruzen, why is the teacher suddenly so angry?" he asked. "Why do I feel a little flustered?" Looking at the black-faced second Hokage Tobirama, Danzo couldn't help but feel guilty. Now, Sarutobi Hiruzen was also confused. "Why is the teacher suddenly so angry?" Hiruzen whispered to Danzo beside him. While the 2 were communicating in hushed tones, Tobirama's expression instantly returned to his usual calm. He looked at both of them calmly. "Next, I will announce the orders," Tobirama said. As Tobirama's voice faded, everyone present immediately became somber. However, the words of second Hokage Tobirama changed the expressions on everyone's faces. "Sarutobi Hiruzen has taken over the position of Konoha's 3rd Hokage," he declared. "Danzo will assist him as the Hokage's assistant." After the words were spoken, Danzo reacted the most violently. Instantly, he turned to second Hokage Tobirama in confusion and exclaimed, "What? Why is this decision so sudden, teacher? In response, second Hokage did not provide any explanation. He simply looked at Danzo quietly, as if he could see right through him. The latter quickly realized the situation and hurriedly backed down. Now, Sarutobi Hiruzen was also quite surprised. Suppressing the ecstasy in his heart, he immediately stepped forward and bowed down, saying, "Thank you, teacher. I will not disappoint the teacher's trust." As I looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen, who appeared to be a loyal and happy individual, the second Hokage Tobirama wanted to laugh. If you don't know your future goals, I can easily be fooled by this seemingly loyal guy. Now, however, well, get ready. In a month, you and Danzo will lead the team to the alliance ceremony. I also officially announce you as the third Hokage to the entire ninja world. Listening to the orders of the second Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly agreed. For a moment, he seemed to be in high spirits. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, who couldn't hide the smile on his face, Danzo stood in the room, his face filled with jealousy. "Damn you, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Why are you the Hokage? I'm not bad either. Teacher, you are not fair. Why did you choose Hiruzen suddenly?" For a while, my stomach felt dissatisfied. But now the deal was done, so there was no point in saying more. I could only watch helplessly as Sarutobi Hiruzen assumed the position of third Hokage. In Tsunade's world as the fifth Hokage. Within the Hokage building, I looked at everything familiar in front of me. If it weren't for the vividness of everything that had just happened, I would have thought it was a dream. "Wow, that's fantastic," I exclaimed. "Just wait until the second meeting starts in 3 months. Then, the current predicament can be resolved." Tsunade, who had found a solution, suddenly felt better. However, when I saw the information that Jiraiya had sacrificed his life for on the table, my emotions plummeted. Oh, if it had come earlier. Perhaps Jiraiya would still be alive. The end of the meeting. Acquired items. None. The next Hokage meeting will commence in 3 months. Prior to the commencement of the meeting, group owners may immediately invite a Konoha Hokage to join the group chat. The bigger the number of people in the chat group, the longer the duration of the meeting. Looking at the settlement page of the chat room, Ryan was not surprised at all. Ryan's main concern is being able to invite another Konoha Hokage to join their group in 3 months' time. At that time, there will be 5 Hokage in the group. Can unlock other features. After 3 months, you will be able to unlock the World Leaderboard feature. Looking at the World Leaderboard function that has not been unlocked. At this moment, the more Ryan looked at the message from the system, item obtained. None, the more dazzling his heart felt. Presumably, the World Leaderboard function should benefit all group members. At that time, he must find a way to be in the front row. Considering this, Ryan couldn't help but fall into deep thought. Fourth Hokage-sama. Just as Ryan was falling into deep thought, a handsome figure appeared at the door of the office instantly. Ryan, who had heard the voice, quickly put aside his thoughts. "Please come in." Soon, the figure outside the door opened the door and walked in. Looking at the person, Ryan also smiled on his face. The person who came was Minato Namikaze, who was supposed to become the fourth Hokage. But now, he is Ryan's deputy. For Minato, the perfect toolman, Ryan naturally accepted it without any hesitation. Ryan has been taking advantage of opportunities presented by Minato ever since he was a child, including rescuing Kushina, who had been captured by the Cloud Shinobi at that time. Fortunately, Minato had successfully apprenticed under Jiraiya. The strength is no different than the original. Hokage-sama, the evidence of the Sarutobi family and the Shimura family's search for resources over the years have all been sorted out. Oh, Ryan couldn't help but raise his eyebrows when he heard this. This is the kind of thing that is too important because it will change the future of many families in Konoha. After I successfully squeezed out the third Hokage from his position as the third Hokage. Then I continued to collect the black materials of third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen and the blackmail materials of Shimura Danzo. Just by using these things, Sarutobi Hiruzen could not have continued to sit in the Hokage's position. Now new blackmail material was collected by Minato. It was enough to kill these 2 people. It's time to close the deal. Let's go, Minato. Let's go and take a look what has the strongest Hokage in history has been doing over last 40 years. Soon, the two rushed towards the clans of the Sarutobi clan and the Shimura clan. As for whether Namikaze Minato will show mercy to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Ryan is not worried at all. Since Ryan had sent Namikaze Minato to collect these blackmail materials bit by bit. Originally, Minato Namikaze was supported by Sarutobi Hiruzen. According to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Namikaze Minato is much easier to control than Ryan. As a result, Ryan broke the news by surprise. Sarutobi Hiruzen fell instantly, because the impact was too great. Namikaze Minato, being close to the third Hokage, naturally has no way of becoming the fourth Hokage. So, Ryan successfully took the position of the fourth Hokage. Namikaze Minato was sent by Ryan to gather black information on the collusion between Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo. With an in-depth investigation, Minato Namikaze is also getting more and more frightened. At the same time, he admires Ryan more and more. If it were him, he couldn't do that at all. It is very likely that he will be controlled by Sarutobi Hiruzen as a puppet to sit in the seat of the fourth Hokage. Namikaze Minato, who was following Ryan, was filled with many thoughts now. After all, he is a smart civilian ninja. Now he can clearly see the darkness of Konoha. But he has made up his mind. He firmly supports Ryan in securing the Hokage's position. Soon, the two arrived at the clan lands of the Sarutobi clan and the Shimura clan. Coincidentally, these two clans had almost killed off the Senju clan. Only Uzumaki Mito, the wife of first Hokage, is now old and dying. Then these two groups took the former Senju clan's land for themselves. The huge clan land of the Senju clan was divided equally between these two people for their own clans. The two families got together and planned to rip as much as benefits on Konoha's grave. At this moment, the gates of both families were densely packed with people. He can't stand in the street anymore. One by one, they stood upon the wall. But everyone glared angrily at the gates of the two families in front of them. And the gates of both families, there was also a large crowd gathered. But these people's faces were full of pride. He did not pay attention to the people in front of him at all. Looking at the two, Ryan and Minato, who had rushed over quickly. The faces of the ninja surrounding the two big families suddenly showed joy. Fourth Hokage. The fourth Hokage is here. Excellent. These people, look at how arrogant they are. For a moment, the scene instantly boiled over. You know, after traveling to this world, Ryan has no shortage of management personnel. Civilian ninjas protect their comrades and show kindness towards civilians. So, the approval rate of Ryan is very high. With the arrival of the two, their presence was felt immediately. Soon, a silver figure quickly came towards Ryan. The fourth Hokage. Seeing the person coming, Ryan couldn't help but nod. Sure, you can handle it. The latter stood behind Ryan without saying a word after hearing this. The person who had come was Kakashi's father. Hokage Tsukumo, also known as Konoha's White Fang. During his planning, Ryan saved the White Fang member from Konoha senior management, who had been nearly killed by the Konoha duo. Fortunately, the evidence of the spreading of the rumors and the statement of the companion who was rescued by Hokage Tsukumo was found in time. He had only succeeded in stopping White Fang from committing suicide in despair. Now he has become an unwavering sharp blade behind Ryan. As for the position of Hokage, at this time, Hokage Tsukumo had already lost his mind. Politics is not something that a pure individual like him cannot comprehend. Ryan arrived at the door of the Sarutobi and Shimura clans. Watching Ryan come to their door, the Sarutobi and Shimura groups also panicked now. What should they do? What can be done to prevent the fourth Hokage from coming? Go and inform the patriarch. Now we can only let the patriarch come. For a while, the clansmen gathered at the doorway panicked. But the few people in the lead forced others to calm down. Seeing approaching Ryan, he slowly opened his mouth and asked, "Fourth Hokage Master, what's happening today? If Hokage-sama needs anything, just give us an order. Is there really any need to mobilize so many shinobi to surround them?" At this point, the few individuals leading both clans seemed to care less. After all, in their perspective, this was the territory of the Sarutobi clan and the Shimura clan, where the third Hokage resided, along with the family of the former Hokage's assistant, Danzo. Even if you are the fourth Hokage, you can't simply ignore social norms and barge in like this. As he looked at the few people blocking his way, Ryan couldn't help but laugh. I don't understand. Observing you all today, it's surprisingly pitiful. Just as Ryan finished speaking, peeved, "Ah, no, Elder." Several dazzling slashes flashed by. The few individuals in front hadn't clearly seen what had happened, accompanied by several heads soaring into the sky and exclamations from those around them. It was only at this moment that people noticed Hitaki Sakumo, who had been standing behind Ryan, slowly sheathing his sword. Confronting the crowd, the White Fang gazed around coldly. Who dares to disrespect the fourth Hokage? This is the end. After uttering those words, he stepped back behind Ryan. This instantly stunned everyone present. No one dared to step forward to stop him. Ahem. Fourth Hokage, you went a little too far. Just when the people from the Sarutobi and Shimura clans were frozen in fear at the entrance, they knew it wasn't right to stop the fourth Hokage, but they were hesitant to let him in. The two figures slowly emerged from the clan grounds. Before the pair even arrived, their voices reached the crowd. The people of the two clans instantly calmed down. The individuals who approached were Sarutobi Hiruzen, the third Hokage, who had been ousted by Ryan, and Shimura Danzo, who had been dismissed even earlier. Just after the two appeared, Ryan's eyes narrowed slightly. He fixed his gaze on Sarutobi Hiruzen, wearing an unsatisfied expression. Why? Still reluctant to let go of the Hokage position? Is this Hokage imperial robe refusing to be taken off? Ryan saw Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had arrived before the assembly. At this moment, he still had the Hokage imperial robe on. Upon hearing Ryan's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't seem bothered at all. With a mischievous smile, he chuckled, "Ha ha ha, as people age, they tend to cling to the past. I was wearing it at home and reminiscing about the times with Danzo. It's not that I heard of your arrival, fourth Hokage, and I didn't have time to change, so I came over as is. However, before that, fourth Hokage, shouldn't you provide this old man with an explanation?" With that, Sarutobi Hiruzen gestured towards the several headless bodies on the ground. He directed a resentful gaze toward Ryan. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen wished he could tear Ryan into pieces. He berated himself for not having seen through this man's ambition from the beginning. Quietly gathering evidence against him, combined with Tsunade's support, led to his direct impeachment from the Hokage position. Thinking of Tsunade made Sarutobi Hiruzen even more furious. She had even sided with an outsider to deal with her own teacher. "Ryan, today you must face the consequences." Finally seizing the opportunity and eliminating a few clan members had a price, but it was worth it. Danzo, standing at the side, naturally jumped in impatiently when he witnessed this. "The foundation of my own efforts is the hard work I put in. To replace Sarutobi one day and become Hokage myself. In the end, everything turned out to be a mere charade." His position was declared dismissed after Ryan assumed power. The Anbu route was completely disbanded, and its members were integrated into the Anbu and mission teams. Hitaki Sakumo was appointed in charge of this transition. "You are being overly presumptuous, fourth Hokage. You hold the position of Hokage. How dare you let your subordinates attack fellow villagers? There must be severe consequences." Looking at the two senior figures who were still shouting before him, Ryan had no inclination to engage in conversation. He directly nodded to Namikaze Minato beside him. Observing this, the latter gestured to the Anbu operatives nearby. "Announce it." "Understood." Soon, several individuals swiftly performed hand seals. Crimson barriers instantly manifested on all sides. The four red yang formation enclosed both Hiruzen and Danzo, along with their clan members. All that was left was to eliminate them within this barrier, and everything would align with the plan. It's thanks to this ninjutsu that Ryan had the assurance to neutralize these two problematic figures without harming Konoha's future. As they watched the four red yang formation emerge suddenly, the expressions of Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo underwent rapid transformations. It was as if they had been transported back to the moment of their public judgment. "This is bad. He must be stopped." Although they were uncertain about what damning evidence Ryan had amassed this time, Hiruzen didn't need to ponder deeply. The sheer determination Ryan displayed indicated that this evidence might be potent enough to shatter their already fragile reputations. Before either of them could react, Minato and Sakumo stood before Sarutobi Hiruzen, one on the left and one on the right. Confronted by these two individuals, Sarutobi Hiruzen had no choice but to halt his actions. At this juncture, the entire population of Konoha also noticed the conspicuous emergence of the four red yang formation. Within the Hyuga clan, Patriarch, what should we do? No rush. Let's observe for now. Presently, the entire Hyuga clan remained within the confines of their compound, obediently watching the events unfold. Across the village in the Uchiha clan, HMPH, the third Hokage still harbors hopes of recruiting the Uchiha clan. What a foolish aspiration. It seems that the Sarutobi and Shimura clans are about to become history this time. Gazing at the four red yang formation manifesting in the sky, Uchiha Fugaku was filled with satisfaction. It's fortunate that I resisted. Otherwise we'd be left to settle scores with the fourth Hokage later. The Uchiha clan might not have survived his retribution. And the other prominent families of Konoha, the Nara, Akamichi, Yamanaka, Inazuka, and other clans. All of them stayed within their family compounds, observing the unfolding events. Soon, the appearance of the four red yang formation in the sky underwent a change. Ryan's figure materialized gradually upon the luminous curtain formed by the formation. It's the fourth Hokage's projection. Ah, Lord Fourth Hokage, what's happening now? Regardless of the circumstances, we will always support the fourth Hokage. Fourth Hokage-sama is incredibly dashing. With Ryan's appearance, the entire population of Konoha erupted with enthusiasm. Aside from a few enamored young women captivated by Ryan's appearance, most individuals were driven by curiosity. What was unfolding now? All citizens of Konoha, today, an announcement will be made. For all these years, third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and all the damning evidence of collusion in various criminal activities committed by Hokage's assistant Shimura Danzo. My god, real or fake? Did the third Hokage and Danzo being Hokage assistant did something bad behind the people of Konoha? It's just unbelievable. Ryan's words on the light curtain sent shockwaves through Konoha. The entire village erupted in chaos in mere moments, with most of the residents being civilians. Among the notable families, the Nara clan, known for their political acumen, was quick to pick up on the situation. While they didn't fully grasp the extent of third Hokage and Danzo's actions, they managed to piece together some clues. On the other hand, prominent clans like the Hyuga and Uchiha seemed to rejoice at the revelation. It must be acknowledged that they had long suffered under the rule of the third Hokage, and now, with these revelations, they felt a sense of vindication. They refrained from actively attacking the Shimura and Sarutobi clans, as doing so might tarnish their image. However, it was only natural for them to take pleasure in the downfall of their adversaries. Meanwhile, in a Konoha tavern, a graceful figure sat by the window, pouring herself some sake. She gazed at Ryan's image displayed on the light curtain in the sky. Hee, the time has come, my boy. Sitting at the tavern was none other than Ryan's mentor, Tsunade Senju. As if struck by another thought, she glanced in the direction of the Sarutobi clan. A self-deprecating smile graced her lips, followed by another sip of sake. Tsunade murmured, Tsunade, is your intention to skip the teacher's summons and invite me here? A cold and calculated voice interrupted her solitude. As Tsunade continued sipping her drink, a figure emanating an icy aura approached the tavern. With pale skin and a demeanor resembling a patient snake, the newcomer was Orochimaru, the Snake Sannin, a genius of the same generation as Tsunade, the Slug Sannin. Observing Orochimaru's approach, Tsunade remained silent. Instead, she fetched a bottle of sake from the side and placed it in front of him. Come, have a drink. I'm here just to enjoy the spectacle. Orochimaru stared at the offered sake, then turned his gaze to Tsunade. There was a rare sense of relief and ease in her demeanor, a sight he hadn't witnessed in a long time. Without further words, he reached for the drink and took a sip. As Orochimaru's gaze fixated on the distant light curtain, recent events flashed through his mind. A few days ago, Ryan had launched a campaign of public opinion within the village, revealing fragments of incriminating evidence against the third Hokage and Danzo. In the blink of an eye, the third Hokage was dethroned from his position, leaving everyone dumbfounded by the speed and precision of the coup. Ryan had taken up the mantle of Hokage with unprecedented rapidity, catching even Orochimaru off guard. But what baffled Orochimaru most was the fact that Ryan had chosen not to target him. At the time, Orochimaru had been conducting human experiments on Konoha villagers, in collaboration with Danzo. He had assumed he would meet the same fate as the third Hokage. To his astonishment, Ryan had spared him. Ryan had visited Orochimaru personally, putting aside the human experiments for the moment. Ryan pledged to continue funding Orochimaru's experiments but stipulated that the subjects must not be from Konoha. This twist left Orochimaru puzzled, unable to fully comprehend Ryan's motives. Still, Orochimaru was allowed to continue his experiments in Konoha, a compromise that pleased him greatly. As he considered Ryan's recent actions, a rare smile curled Orochimaru's lips. He was eager to relish the unfolding drama orchestrated by Ryan. Soon, all the evidence compiled by Namikaze Minato was unveiled on the light curtain. This evidence included plans by 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen and his assistant, Shimura Danzo, to undermine the Senju clan. Ninjas from the Senju clan, regardless of their rank, were systematically sent on perilous missions, often resulting in their deaths. Even the Senju members integrated into Konoha were subjected to covert human experimentation. The true extent of their crimes was shocking. The horrifying revelation that the 3rd Hokage and Danzo had even murdered Nawaki, the young head of the Senju clan, in order to obtain the coveted wood style of the 1st Hokage, left the entire Konoha in stunned silence. No one had suspected such heinous acts from the seemingly benevolent 3rd Hokage. Even the ninja families, who owed their teachings and the founding of Konoha to Hashirama and Tobirama, were taken aback by this dark truth. The weight of their actions hit hard, leaving only a handful of survivors in the Senju clan, Tsunade and Uzumaki Mito. These two are beyond ruthless. A chilling feeling swept through everyone in Konoha, and before they could fully process this revelation, the evidence on the light curtain continued to play. Plans of manipulation and collusion between the two families were laid bare, along with the revelation that Danzo had been secretly abducting talented individuals from various clans. Damn Danzo! No wonder our clan's geniuses disappeared overnight. These two monsters. Outrage erupted from the onlookers, especially among the major clans. The disappearances of promising talents over the years now made sense, and the families were on the verge of chaos, only held in check by the patriarch's influence. The evidence also exposed how the two had been relentlessly collecting resources, from ninja assets to civilian wealth. The supplies sent by the daimyo for the village's benefit were siphoned off by the scheming duo for their own gain. As a result, the Sarutobi and Shimura families, once small and inconspicuous, had rapidly grown into powerful forces rivaling even the Hyuga clan. Moreover, they weren't just cultivating ninjas. They fattened their ranks with ordinary citizens, indulging them in a life of comfort. This revelation ignited the anger of both the major clans and the civilians alike. Damn 3rd Hokage. Calling him the 3rd Hokage is an insult. Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't deserve that title. Absolutely right. And that old man, Danzo. Both of them are despicable. Unforgivable. Konoha erupted into turmoil. The intelligent and perceptive citizens vented their rage, unleashing years of pent-up frustration at the two who had held them in check. The skies echoed with vehement condemnation. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo, whose facades had crumbled, were now exposed to the full force of public fury. Caught in the relentless wave of anger, the faces of the two culprits turned ashen. It's over, it's all over. They could only watch helplessly as the consequences of their actions unfurled before them. Damn it, Sarutobi exclaimed in frustration. How did you manage to leave behind so much evidence? He questioned, looking at Danzo with a side glance at his longtime friend. You're nothing but a fool, Sarutobi Hiruzen, muttered Danzo under his breath, unable to contain his disdain. At that moment, his desire to strangle Danzo to death intensified. What are you doing? He asked sharply, his patience wearing thin. You do it, and you do it, he said, frustrated with the lack of responsibility shown by others. Why are there so many loose ends left behind? He wondered aloud, his frustration growing. Regardless, it was also a reflection of the shortcomings of the Anbu system. Unfortunately, nothing seemed to be working. As Sarutobi Hiruzen scolded him, Danzo couldn't help but feel a sense of despair. At that moment, he wanted to cry without tears. You were a good companion, he said, his voice filled with bitterness, when we discussed how to deceive others. And now that it's all exposed, you're trying to shift the blame onto me. What's the use of talking so much now? He exclaimed, feeling the urgency of the situation. We need to find a solution quickly. For Danzo, it seemed like Sarutobi Hiruzen always blamed him when the schemes were exposed. Time was running out, and there was no point in explaining anymore. The blame had already been placed on him, and he had no choice but to bear it. But the most important thing now was to find a way to resolve the current situation. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked around with an ugly expression as he heard the words, realizing that none of the other ninja families who had previously supported him were present, not even the Ino-Shika-Cho clans. As he observed Anbu, who surrounded and outnumbered them, Sarutobi Hiruzen found himself at a loss for a good solution. Relying on the two clans to break through was unrealistic, as the quality of their ninjas was far inferior to that of Anbu. The current Sarutobi Hiruzen was not as powerful as the Hokage portrayed in the original book, and the combined strength of the two clans was not as impressive as expected. In the Fourth Ninja World War, the Sarutobi clan alone gathered 3,000 ninjas, which was far from the glory they currently possessed. Ryan, you traitor! Sarutobi Hiruzen exclaimed angrily. Do you really want to kill them all? I am the third Hokage, he reminded, his voice filled with authority. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt helpless and desperate, realizing that they had no feasible options left. He now had to point the finger at Ryan. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, who resorted to desperate measures, Ryan shrugged and raised his hands slowly. Is that what you want? He asked mockingly. You think too highly of yourself, third Hokage. Listen carefully, Ryan continued, his tone dripping with sarcasm. This is the voice of the people. The current situation can only indicate one thing. You're truly unfit to be Hokage. As Ryan spoke, the sound of approaching footsteps filled the streets. The air was filled with high-pitched slogans. Overthrow the third Hokage. Execute Shimura Danzo. The slogans echoed in Sarutobi Hiruzen's and others' ears as the villagers gathered, fueled by the incriminating evidence they had read. The third Hokage's once amiable image had been shattered, replaced by the perception of collusion with a villain. As Sarutobi Hiruzen listened to the slogans around him, Shimura Danzo's face grew even gloomier. The fact that Sarutobi Hiruzen was being targeted was something he found hard to accept. He wondered why he was the one facing execution while being blamed for everything. Sarutobi Hiruzen sensed Danzo's emotions and quickly patted his shoulder, his eyes filled with concern. In that moment, he felt a sense of panic. They couldn't afford for Danzo to have second thoughts now. Fortunately, Danzo understood that it was not the time for hesitation. Despite his reluctance, he knew they had to present a united front. Hiruzen, let's do it. Danzo urged. The only option now is to eliminate Ryan and regain our positions as Hokage. We must frame him for our crimes. As Sarutobi Hiruzen observed the increasingly clear slogans, his face contorted with an internal struggle. However, when his eyes fell upon Ryan wearing the Hokage imperial robe, his desire for power and position overcame any doubts. Danzo, let's proceed, he declared. When the time comes, I will make you Hokage. With that, Sarutobi Hiruzen issued a direct order to the Sarutobi clan. Danzo, on the other hand, couldn't contain his excitement upon hearing these words. Move quickly. Shimura clan, follow my lead, he commanded. The fourth Hokage has lost his integrity. Let's frame the former Hokage. As the slogans reverberated in the air, the two clans that were supposed to be held accountable suddenly became the so-called righteous party. At that moment, the ninjas of the two clans appeared united and powerful, charging towards the surrounded Anbu. However, this righteous facade was merely an illusion. Ryan had nothing to say, and with a wave of his hand, the waiting Anbu members sprang into action. Today's Sarutobi and Shimura clans were far from the powerful forces they would become in the future. They paled in comparison to the might of Anbu. The Anbu swiftly launched an attack, overpowering the ninjas of the two clans. A ninja skilled in water style quickly unleashed a devastating water dragon jutsu, while another group utilized lightning style techniques. The ninjas of the two clans were no match for the Anbu, and the battle quickly turned into a rout. Panicked screams filled the air as the ninjas desperately tried to escape. Damn it, don't run away. It'll only hasten your demise. Ryan shouted, witnessing his own forces being effortlessly cut down. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo grew increasingly anxious as they witnessed their people being mercilessly slaughtered. However, with Namikaze Minato and Hitaki Tsukumo keeping a close eye on them, they knew they had to act swiftly. "What will you do next, Danzo?" Ryan asked, his voice laced with both sarcasm and curiosity. Crack! The sound of shackles opening filled the air. At that moment, Danzo revealed his hidden arm under his clothes. Observing Danzo releasing the restraints, Sarutobi Hiruzen let out a sigh of relief. "Danzo, capture the thief first, capture the king first. Once we take down Ryan, everything will be easier to handle." "HMPH, you don't need to remind me." Danzo responded with a cold snort. In their current situation, there was only one way to defeat Ryan. Upon hearing Hiruzen's plan, Danzo scoffed and immediately set his sights on Minato and Tsukumo. "I'll handle them both, you go deal with Ryan." Satisfied with Danzo's commitment, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded in approval. Indeed, in critical moments, Danzo had always proven to be his most reliable support. Without wasting any time, Danzo took the lead and confronted Minato and Tsukumo. Using the shadow clone technique, he created multiple clones that attacked the two Minatos simultaneously. Boom! Puffs of smoke filled the air as Danzo's clones executed various wind-style ninjutsu in perfect coordination with the main body. Meanwhile, Sarutobi Hiruzen charged directly at Ryan. "Brat, the position of Hokage is not something a child like you can handle," he taunted. Watched by Sarutobi Hiruzen, his figure disappeared in a few blurs, his hands swiftly forming seals. "Fourth Hokage project. No need, you two focus on Danzo. His right arm holds a surprise," Ryan advised Minato and Tsukumo. As Sarutobi Hiruzen prepared to attack Ryan, Minato and Tsukumo attempted to intervene, but Ryan stopped them in their tracks. Unfazed by Sarutobi Hiruzen's presence, Ryan stood his ground, his expression unchanged. Ryan's arrogance brought a sneer to Sarutobi Hiruzen's face. "HMPH, arrogant brat, I'll show you the strength of the strongest Hokage in Konoha." With his chakra concentrated in his mouth, Sarutobi Hiruzen unleashed the Fire Dragon Bomb. A torrent of scorching flames erupted from his mouth, turning everything in its path into scorched earth. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen's hands swiftly formed seals once again, knowing that this level of attack wouldn't harm a cage-level opponent. Determined, Sarutobi Hiruzen activated the ninja art, Earth Dragon Fire Ryu. A ferocious earth dragon rose from the ground, accompanied by a surge of earth currents that rushed toward Ryan. Simultaneously, Sarutobi Hiruzen exhaled a stream of fire, merging it with the earth flow. The two elements blended together, resembling flowing magma. But the assault didn't end there. Sarutobi Hiruzen continued his hand seals, completing the technique. Ninja art, Lightning Water Dragon Bomb. A majestic water dragon materialized in an instant, crackling with lightning. With a triumphant tone, Sarutobi Hiruzen sneered at Ryan, convinced that he had witnessed his opponent's defeat. However, to his astonishment, Ryan suddenly moved. Ryan swiftly clasped his palms together, creating countless inscriptions that appeared on his open hands. "Old man, do you really think I haven't mastered this? With the Flying Thunder God technique, I'm not afraid of the first and second Hokage crawling out of hell to find you." Sarutobi Hiruzen's face turned pale for a moment upon hearing Ryan's words. He became green with envy, jealousy, and hatred. In that instant, he wished to tear Ryan's body into 1,000 pieces. As Sarutobi Hiruzen glared coldly at Ryan, awaiting his next move, everyone's attention was drawn to a loud noise in the sky. The compound ninjutsu that Sarutobi Hiruzen had unleashed moments ago collided with Ryan's attack. Explosions of scorching flames and flashing water dragons clashed in midair, creating billows of vapor. The sky above Konoha grew darker as dense clouds formed from the water vapor. Amidst the spectacle, Ryan's voice echoed across the battlefield. "All Anbu, withdraw from the clan lands of the Sarutobi and Shimura clans." Upon hearing Ryan's order, the Anbu members who were still fighting or those who hadn't acted yet were mere witnesses to the unfolding events, and everyone swiftly began to evacuate. Countless figures hurriedly left the territories of the Sarutobi and Shimura clans. Did they retreat? Great, we survived. Woo! The terrified clansmen, who had resigned themselves to death, now embraced each other in tears of joy, feeling the relief and happiness brought by being alive. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo couldn't fully rejoice. Having been hit by Namikaze Minato's Thunder God mark, they felt slight discomfort. Hiruzen, what are you waiting for? Finish him off quickly. I can't hold on much longer. Danzo, struggling to endure, glanced at Sarutobi Hiruzen, who remained motionless. The anger in Danzo's eyes nearly overwhelmed him. Upon hearing Danzo's cry, Sarutobi Hiruzen finally noticed Danzo's current state. At that moment, he saw Danzo's long robe torn into shreds, and his right arm bandage completely unraveled, revealing the arm engraved with the first Hokage's face. The number of Sharingan on his arm had diminished, with only a few compared to the future where there would be many. Observing Danzo's arm, Namikaze Minato and Hitaki Sakumo no longer held back. They swiftly moved to strike Danzo's vital points. This inflicted considerable pain upon Danzo, who would have been able to defend himself against numerous attacks. In an instant, he was overwhelmed and stumbled around like a lost dog. The 3 Sharingan secretly obtained on his arm were rendered useless, only serving as a lingering reminder. Danzo's anger was justified. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't afford to delay any longer. He feared that procrastination would lead to further consequences. Thus, he chose to eliminate Danzo first. Pretending to be innocent in this shinobi world. Massacring clans will expedite your demise. Die, you brat. As the Anbu members had nearly completed their withdrawal, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't concern himself with other matters. Although he sensed something was amiss, he recognized that the die was cast and had to be rolled. Ryan had to be eliminated for the survival of the 2 clans. With this thought in mind, Sarutobi Hiruzen promptly initiated his sealing technique. Observing Sarutobi Hiruzen resuming his actions, Ryan no longer wished to waste time. Whoosh! The Flying Thunder God Jutsu activated in an instant, accompanied by a burst of white light. Ryan, who had been far away, appeared beside Sarutobi Hiruzen within moments. So fast. You didn't throw the special kunai. How did you arrive here? Seeing Ryan instantly materialize before him, Sarutobi Hiruzen involuntarily narrowed his eyes. The hands that were previously forming seals unconsciously halted. Naturally, Sarutobi Hiruzen remembered the Flying Thunder God technique well. While it didn't deter him from researching it, he envisioned that one of his clan members might possess extraordinary talent, compelling him to study it diligently. However, he knew that the activation of the Flying Thunder God required a special formula. How could Ryan suddenly appear before him without a trace? Just as Sarutobi Hiruzen pondered this, his gaze caught sight of a distinct white symbol on the ground. When recognizing the symbol, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't be more familiar with it. It was the distinctive mark of the Flying Thunder God technique. But what he didn't expect was that Ryan had left it in this location. When had he done so? Observing Sarutobi Hiruzen's aged face displaying a mix of emotions, Ryan couldn't help but smile confidently. Don't bother looking. The hidden marks I've left throughout Konoha over the years are enough to cover every corner. Your 2 clans are my primary concern. Without giving Sarutobi Hiruzen a chance to react, Ryan swiftly turned his palms upward, conjuring a spinning chakra ball. Rasengan. Boom! An explosive sound resonated as a large cloud of smoke billowed forth. Ryan frowned in response. He was certain that he had struck Sarutobi Hiruzen with the Rasengan, but it clearly wasn't the old Hokage's body. As the smoke dissipated, a battered figure emerged before everyone's eyes. Hiruzen, what happened? I apologize, Ape Demon. I unexpectedly brought you out. Seeing the severely injured Ape Demon, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt a pang of guilt. Yet, it wasn't the summoning technique that had been activated, it was Ryan himself who suffered the consequences. Forced to summon the Ape Demon, Sarutobi Hiruzen had no other choice. However, observing the miserable state of the Ape Demon, it was clear that continuing the fight was futile. With a puff of smoke, the Ape Demon suddenly reverted to its summoning state and fled back. You responded quite well, but what do you plan to do next? Ryan hadn't expected to defeat Sarutobi Hiruzen with that blow. As he spoke, his gaze shifted toward the sky, which had turned completely dark. Stars glimmered amidst the thunderous clouds. Realizing that everything was nearly prepared, Ryan extended his arm and pointed to the sky. Squeak! A bolt of lightning shot forth from Ryan's hand, disappearing into the clouds in an instant. Once the lightning vanished, the entire sky seemed to come alive. Rumble! A deafening roar echoed throughout the sky, capturing everyone's attention. The thunder in the heavens grew more intense. Wow, what kind of ninjutsu is this? It's terrifying. This is only the prelude, and it's already so powerful. If this is how it is when activated, then this ninjutsu is even more frightening. It seems to be the lightning style developed by the 4th Hokage's project. What an extraordinary talent, to develop such a fearsome lightning-style ninjutsu. The major clans observing the battle were astonished, contemplating the connection between this grand battle and the 4th Hokage. Watch this move. I'll use this ninjutsu to send you to meet the Shinigami itself. Lightning style. Kirin. As the words left his mouth, Ryan promptly combined the shape transformation of lightning style with the nature transformation of ninjutsu, activating his technique. In an instant, a thunderous Kirin materialized in the sky, its entire body composed of lightning. With crimson eyes fixated on Sarutobi Hiruzen below, the creature emanated a menacing aura. Ryan no longer hesitated. Guided by Chidori, the lightning Kirin descended rapidly toward Sarutobi Hiruzen. Damn it, I must dodge. Sarutobi Hiruzen succumbed to complete panic. Drawing upon his years of combat experience, he understood that failure to evade this attack would result in his demise. As he witnessed the Kirin hurtling from the heavens, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt trapped, ensnared in the beast's aerial domain. This technique was inevitable. Roar! With a thunderous roar, the dazzling lightning struck instantaneously. The sky above Konoha echoed with the sounds of countless chirping birds, creating a dazzling display akin to daylight. Wow, it's so mesmerizing, exclaimed one observer. Exactly what I'd expect from the 4th Hokage, added another. This ninjutsu is incredibly terrifying. Oh my god, I can't keep my eyes open. The onlookers, one by one, closed their eyes as if fearing an explosion from the overwhelming spectacle. As the thunderous noise subsided, a shocking scene unfolded before everyone's eyes. I looked around, surveying the aftermath. The once thriving Sarutobi and Shimura clans, where had their presence gone? Not a trace of either tribe remained. Only scorched earth stretched out in front of them. The clan lands, houses, and clan members had all been reduced to ashes by the devastating blow. Damn it, Hiruzen! Danzo cried out, gazing at the vanished family. Danzo, who was still recovering from his beating, now appeared even more tearful and pitiful. His furious gaze locked onto Ryan. Hiruzen can't be dead. Tell me, where is he? Danzo's eyes were bloodshot as he relentlessly interrogated Ryan. Observing Danzo's desperate demeanor, Ryan couldn't help but think that Sarutobi Hiruzen must have been like a loved one to him. Or something more. Ehehehe. Although their relationship was not entirely clear when faced with Danzo's inquiries. Ryan generously pointed to the open space in front of him. He's all around us. Upon hearing this response, Danzo seemed to lose all strength, surrendering entirely. He weakly slumped to the ground, realizing deep down that Sarutobi Hiruzen had no chance of survival after the devastating ninjutsu. Even if I had 10 more Sharingans, it wouldn't be enough. Now that Hiruzen was gone and the family had vanished, Danzo had nothing left to fight for. He sat in a daze on the ground, unable to speak for a long time. Witnessing this, Ryan refrained from saying much. After exchanging a glance with Sakumo, Ryan gave a subtle signal. In an instant, Sakumo swiftly swung his knife, dispatching the man known as the Shadow of Konoha, Danzo. With Danzo dead, Ryan let out a long sigh of relief. Having eliminated the Sarutobi and Shimura clans, the internal crisis within Konoha had been resolved. Minato, send someone to clean up, Ryan instructed. Resume construction here as soon as possible. Having dealt with the affairs of the two clans, Ryan returned to the Hokage building, organizing the remaining work. At that moment, Ryan felt a greater sense of ease. Not long after Ryan's return, Tsunade and Orochimaru, who had been drinking in the tavern, arrived directly. Observing the two, Ryan didn't need to say a word before his head was pushed between Tsunade's ample bosom. MMMPH. I can't breathe, master. Ryan muffledly protested. As Ryan struggled, Tsunade's face reddened. But considering the vengeance against the Senju clan that her obedient apprentice had fulfilled, Tsunade had little concern. She continued to hold Ryan's head tightly, refusing to let go. Witnessing this, Ryan ceased his struggle, surrendering to the embrace of the soft bosom. Enjoying the sensation, he heard Tsunade's enthusiastic voice. Ryan, you were absolutely amazing just now. What are you doing? Just as Ryan was about to lose himself in the moment, a fiery red figure barged into the office. The person's hair seemed to flicker like flames. Recognizing the voice, Ryan hastily extracted himself from Tsunade's embrace. Seeing that Kushina was on the verge of going berserk, Ryan quickly spoke up, Ha, Kushina. Master was just showing gratitude. It was quite exhilarating. Listening to Ryan's explanation, Tsunade eyed the two suspiciously. However, considering what had transpired with the Senju clan, Tsunade's excitement seemed understandable. Furthermore, Tsunade Haim was still a relative of her own. Uzumaki Kushina had no choice but to relent. Observing this, Tsunade now wore a mischievous smile. After exchanging greetings with Kushina, Tsunade turned and left. But as Tsunade walked past Kushina, Ryan caught sight of Tsunade had a smirk on her face. Witnessing the scene, Ryan couldn't help but tremble slightly. Orochimaru, who stood nearby, also had a smirk on his face. Yet, with Tsunade's departure, Orochimaru decided not to taunt Ryan and left the office as well. As for the matters that remained in Konoha, they could be discussed another time. Soon, Ryan, with his silver tongue, managed to coax Kushina. Observing the well-behaved Kushina before him, Ryan let out a long sigh of relief. Kushina had narrowly avoided turning into a Shura. Women get jealous too easily. Especially from other women. As for Tsunade, being a time traveler, would he ever let go of such an opportunity? The legendary 106. Jiraiya might be dead, but his words live in every weeb's heart. That's how without any shame Ryan became Tsunade's student and gradually won her heart. One named Dan, who had gotten too close to Tsunade, had been dealt with by Ryan beforehand. However, now it was necessary to consolidate the power of the entire Konoha. Otherwise, in 3 months' time, during the next gathering of chat group, the world leaderboard function would be enabled. Failing to be at the forefront would be embarrassing for a time traveler. The following day, Minato, send someone to summon Uchiha Fugaku, Ryan instructed. Have him come to the Hokage building. Understood. Minato promptly relayed Ryan's message to the Uchiha family. In the current patriarch's residence, an Anbu had arrived to deliver the news to Uchiha Fugaku. The fourth Hokage, do you wish to see me? I understand, Uchiha Fugaku replied. I'll head there immediately. Receiving Uchiha Fugaku's response, the Anbu nodded and swiftly left the Uchiha clan. Meanwhile, Fugaku furrowed his brow, deep in thought about the reason behind the summons. Observing this, Makoto, who had just come out, couldn't help but ask, Fugaku, why did the Hokage summon you? Any idea? Fugaku shook his head helplessly. If only I knew the reason, he said. I suppose it's best not to dwell on it anymore. As the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, regardless of the events to come, Fugaku had to meet with the Hokage first. The future of the Uchiha clan hinges on today's negotiation. Here is the bonus chapter promised yesterday. Master Hokage, Uchiha Fugaku is here, a voice reported outside the door. Let him in, Ryan replied calmly. Upon hearing the sound, Uchiha Fugaku, who was filled with worry, realized that there was no anger in Ryan's voice. It brought a sense of relief, and he calmed down a bit. Fugaku carefully opened the door and entered the office. Observing Ryan seated in the office, the man who had assumed the position of Hokage with lightning speed, Uchiha Fugaku dared not harbor any ill intentions. He spoke seriously, Master Hokage, is there anything the Uchiha clan can do for you? Rest assured, the Uchiha clan has always been an integral part of Konoha village. We will work hard to cooperate, Fugaku declared, demonstrating his loyalty. Ryan looked up and down at Fugaku, taking note of his behavior. He sighed helplessly, realizing the proud nature of the Uchiha clan. The clan members only yearned for someone from their own ranks to become Hokage and change the current situation in Konoha and within the clan. As a result, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo were repeatedly chosen, and the Uchiha clan suffered. Ryan understood this predicament. The Uchiha patriarch need not be so reserved. As a member of Konoha and the Uchiha clan, I will treat everyone equally, Ryan assured Fugaku, acknowledging the clan's struggles. Though surprised by Ryan's words, Fugaku remained cautious. After all, the influence of the old coin, the third Hokage, still lingered, and Fugaku wondered if Ryan could truly be trusted. The presence of Danzo and the negative sentiment from the villagers towards the Uchiha clan weighed heavily on his mind. Ryan recognized the futility of mere words in changing the situation. The Uchiha clan's status quo had to be fundamentally altered. He posed a question to Fugaku, inquiring about the current state of the Uchiha clan and its potential for change. Now that the era of Sarutobi Hiruzen is over, if you have any ideas, speak up, Ryan stated directly, urging Fugaku to share his thoughts. Fugaku's heart was filled with conflicting emotions. He pondered Ryan's trustworthiness while considering the precarious state of the Uchiha clan. After a moment of silence, Fugaku cautiously replied, "Master Hokage, our Uchiha clan is doing well. If you require our assistance, we are willing to contribute." Ryan's gaze deepened as he listened to Fugaku's response. Fugaku's heart raced in anticipation, and the office fell into a tense silence. Ryan finally spoke, instructing Fugaku to return and continue maintaining the status quo if that was their choice. Ryan waved his hand, signaling the presence of several Anbu to escort Fugaku out. Witnessing the situation, Fugaku realized that he could no longer stay in Konoha if the Uchiha clan persisted with the status quo. The proud Uchiha had been pushed to the outskirts of the village. Fugaku hastily changed his stance, acknowledging his mistake and seeking guidance from Ryan. A smile curled on Ryan's lips as he watched Fugaku's reaction. The Uchiha clan could finally settle down, but there was more work to be done. Ryan explained that the clan should relocate their land back to its previous location, away from the center of Konoha. He emphasized the need for change and offered a plan to gradually improve the Uchiha clan's reputation within Konoha. Uchiha Fugaku felt a surge of ecstasy. As the patriarch, he may have fallen short, but as a father, he had succeeded. The prospect of his son being accepted as a disciple by the Hokage, with a chance to become a future Hokage, overwhelmed him. Fugaku immediately pledged his loyalty and willingness to serve Ryan with unwavering devotion. Ryan assured Fugaku that no formalities were necessary and provided further instructions. He discussed the integration of Uchiha clan members into the Konoha Guard, dividing them into two teams, one to handle internal disputes within Konoha, and the other to maintain the true essence of the Uchiha clan. Ryan believed that through these measures, the Uchiha clan's reputation could gradually change for the better. Fugaku, filled with gratitude and admiration, pledged to make the necessary arrangements. He left the office, eager to implement the new policies. Ryan, feeling a sense of relief, knew that resolving the Uchiha clan's issues would strengthen Konoha further. With renewed confidence, he left the Hokage building, heading towards the Senju clan's compound. "Hurry up," Uchiha Fugaku called out, his voice filled with urgency. "Hurry up, I'm going back to the old clan land. Get rid of any unnecessary items," he instructed, his tone commanding. "We're out of ink," someone exclaimed, realizing the shortage. "This is the permission of the fourth Hokage. We can finally return to our ancestral land," another voice exclaimed, filled with excitement. The Uchiha clan was bustling with activity that day. Every member of the clan was happily packing their belongings. Ever since Uchiha Fugaku returned from the Hokage building, a clan meeting was called immediately. This time, the meeting wasn't about debating rebellion but about receiving direct orders from the patriarch. Fugaku announced several orders issued by Ryan, including the news that they could move back to their original location. Upon hearing this, several elders in the clan instantly stopped objecting and began to cooperate more actively. They understood the benefits of joining the Konoha Guard, despite their initial reservations. The elders realized that it could significantly change Konoha's perception of the Uchiha clan. While the Uchiha clan was preparing to relocate, a small group of discontented individuals gathered together. Scarlet Sharingan observed their gathering with cold indifference. Each member expressed their dissatisfaction, unaware that their every word was being recorded by a figure nearby. Uchiha Fugaku noticed this group and frowned at their behavior. Fugaku's good mood was instantly shattered. He snorted in disdain and reaffirmed his determination to protect the progress the Uchiha clan had made. He quickly went to the person responsible for task assignments within the clan and issued an order. Patriarch, the clan member acknowledged. Inform Uchiha Inuhiro and the others, Fugaku commanded. There has been an attack on our clan's border mines in the Land of Fire. Let them handle it. The clan member who received the task didn't think much of it. They assumed it was just another mission to protect the Uchiha clan's industry. They quickly relayed the order to Uchiha Ricefire and the others, who promptly prepared their supplies and set off. As the proud Uchiha clan, they couldn't tolerate anyone who dared to threaten their interests. Little did they know that once they left, they would never return. The Uchiha clan's mighty relocation caught the attention of other families in Konoha village. Discussions began among the prominent families, questioning how the Uchiha clan managed to regain their previous land. Speculation about Hokage-sama's intentions filled the conversations. Among these families was the Hyuga clan, a major Konoha clan. Hyuga Hisashi suggested meeting with the fourth Hokage as soon as possible, noting the recent actions against the Shimura and Sarutobi families. He believed that the fourth Hokage possessed a firm grasp of power, surpassing even the third Hokage. Hisashi emphasized the need to establish goodwill in advance. Hyuga Hiyashi, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, frowned as he considered Hisashi's analysis. The Hyuga clan had always maintained neutrality and refrained from favoring any side, regardless of who held the Hokage position. They offered assistance and supplies when necessary but never took a partisan stance. However, the current situation made Hiyashi hesitate. Observing Hiyashi's struggle, his younger brother Hisashi became anxious. He recognized that with a powerful Hokage like Ryan, there might be a chance to change the unjust system of the branch house within the Hyuga clan. Hisashi couldn't help but feel hopeful. In fact, the Hyuga clan had always boasted about their wealth compared to the Uchiha clan. However, their position within Konoha society was still quite precarious. When the Uchiha clan wore clothes bearing their family crest, the commoners of Konoha feared them. On the other hand, the Hyuga clan's eldest lady could be bullied by ordinary children. This stark difference revealed the disparity between the two clans. Due to the Uchiha clan's actions, other families in Konoha village began making their own moves. The Ino Shika Cho clans, as a Hokage family, arrived at the Hokage office together, pledging their loyalty to Ryan. This gesture prompted other prominent and lesser-known families to follow suit, expressing their allegiance to the Hokage. Ryan openly addressed the Hyuga brothers, Hiyashi and Hisashi, when they approached him. Without any pretense, he asked, "Do you want to change the ridiculous system of the branch house and clan within the Hyuga clan?" The words struck a chord with both brothers, leaving them bewildered yet intrigued. Hiyashi, burdened with the responsibility of the patriarch, had long been dissatisfied with the system. Hisashi, on the other hand, felt a surge of excitement, believing that Ryan shared their desire for change. "Master Hokage, please enlighten us," Hiyashi said, bowing before Ryan. Ryan nodded in acknowledgement, then turned his gaze to White Fang, who stood nearby. "Today, White Fang will accompany you to the Hyuga clan and help you resolve the issue of the branch house system once and for all," he declared with determination. The mention of the caged bird seal evoked a playful expression from Ryan. He commented, "It's like cutting off an arm, it's absurd." He believed that the branch house was a burden, and the Hyuga clan would have revolted long ago if not for the caged bird seal's control. Ryan left the choice in Hiyashi's hands, stating, "It's up to you how to choose." With that, he returned to his paperwork, leaving Hiyashi deep in thought. After some time, Hiyashi looked at the caged bird seal on Hisashi's forehead. A decision was made at that moment. "I understand, Hokage-sama. Master White Fang, please accompany me to the Hyuga clan's land," he declared. Ryan's satisfied smile confirmed that Hiyashi had made the right choice. White Fang followed the two Hyuga brothers as they set off for the Hyuga clan. "Master Hokage, Fugaku-sama requests an audience," a messenger announced, interrupting the proceedings. "Please come in." Uchiha Fugaku called from outside the house, as he heard the sound. He cautiously opened the door to the Hokage's office and found Ryan sitting at the desk. Uchiha Fugaku approached Ryan and pulled two small figures towards him. "Hokage-sama, these are Shisui and Itachi," he said, introducing the two children to Ryan. After speaking, he brought the two little guys in front of Ryan. Shisui and Itachi appeared like two young kids at that moment. Remembering their performances in the original book, Ryan believed that with a little guidance, the two of them would become excellent swordsmen. "From today onwards, I will be your teacher. I will train you rigorously. It's too late to regret now," Ryan declared, staring into the eyes of the two children. Shisui and Itachi seemed extremely excited upon hearing Ryan's words. They couldn't believe it at first when Fugaku told them that Hokage-sama wanted to accept them as his disciples. However, upon arriving at the Hokage building, their disbelief turned into astonishment. And now, hearing that Ryan wanted to take them as disciples, their excitement couldn't be contained. "We would love to be your disciples. Nice to meet you, teacher," they exclaimed. Fugaku was delighted to see their enthusiasm. With this, the Uchiha clan became firmly connected to the Hokage. Ryan smiled, satisfied with the two excited young boys. He then turned to Uchiha Fugaku beside him and said, "Then, I will be the one to teach them. Let them follow me every day from now on." Fugaku wholeheartedly agreed to Ryan's proposal. He couldn't wait to have the two children by Ryan's side. With the purpose of bringing Fugaku here accomplished, Ryan didn't expect that his method of using force and persuasion on Uchiha would be so effective. But this was only the first step in inviting guests. By involving Fugaku, the most influential voice in the Uchiha clan, Ryan aimed to gain more favor. If he couldn't win over Ryan, Fugaku's fate would naturally be the same as the other elders of Uchiha, beheaded. The position of the patriarch of the Uchiha clan attracted many contenders, and without Fugaku, someone else would take the role. In that case, Ryan would continue his operations and achieve even better results. He would ensure complete loyalty and acceptance from the Uchiha clan. While thinking about these plans, Ryan couldn't help but touch his chin in satisfaction as he held the ninjutsu scroll given to him by Fugaku. "Let the bullets fly and don't deceive me. This must be announced," he thought. Meanwhile, Shisui and Itachi were still in a state of ecstasy. As two kids who had always loved Konoha, becoming disciples of the Hokage was a dream come true. Ryan laughed and said to them, "All right, enough playing around. We won't practice today. I will take you to study." With that, he left the Hokage building accompanied by the two excited youngsters. The Uchiha clan had now become a force under Ryan's control. On the other side, within the Hyuga clan, a heated argument was taking place. Several elders of the clan were shouting at Hyuga Hiyashi, accusing him of violating the clan's ancestral customs and stating that he was unfit to be the patriarch. The scene was intense, with headless corpses lying nearby. Witnessing this, the members of the branch house, who had caged birds on their heads, gathered and discussed the situation among themselves. They wondered why the patriarch had directly involved outsiders such as White Fang. They believed that this incident would change the history of their branch house. They saw Hiyashi's actions as a way to save the Hyuga clan. In response to the elders' questioning, Hiyashi had made up his mind. For the sake of his brother and the future of the Hyuga clan, he decided that the outdated clan system had to be abolished. He pointed out that although the Hyuga clan had been around since the establishment of Konoha, they were not truly qualified to compete with the Uchiha clan. Hiyashi criticized the laziness and lack of contribution from some members of the clan and expressed his support for the branch house members who worked hard to develop the family. These words ignited the branch house members, who felt that being demoted to the branch house simply because they were born a few seconds later was unfair. They believed that if the main house members were wise, powerful, and dedicated to the family's growth, the branch house would have no complaints. Seeing the branch house members becoming more spirited, the timid members of the clan who had been intimidated by White Fang's actions began to find courage. They stood behind the clan elders, afraid to speak out. This scene shocked the remaining clan elders, who started to question what they had been protecting all these years. In the midst of the silence, a childish voice suddenly broke the tension. Everyone turned to look at the source of the voice and realized that the visitor was none other than the Master Hokage himself. Instantly, they all saluted their revered leader. And the one who had just spoken was Ryan's new disciple, Uchiha Itachi. Ryan's gaze swept across the remaining clan elders and members. "Itachi, Shisui, remember this," he said firmly. Whether it's a family or a village, we must evolve. The wheel of time never stops turning, and if we fall behind, we will be left behind. Look at the current situation of the Hyuga clan. Their outdated clan system has not been changed, and as a result, they are trapped, endlessly exploiting the branch house. As Ryan spoke, his eyes focused on the clan members with prominent status and privileges. The seriousness of the Hyuga clan's problems was evident. Eventually, the breaking point will come, Ryan continued. The entire Hyuga clan will crumble and cease to exist. Upon hearing these words, Shisui and Itachi wore thoughtful expressions on their faces. Meanwhile, Hyuga Hiyashi approached Ryan, aware that time was running out for the Hyuga clan. Clan elders, do you wish to continue? Ryan asked the disheartened elders, who were still trying to comprehend the situation caused by the new Hokage. The clan elders glanced at each other, resigned to their fate, and nodded. We will follow the patriarch's arrangements, they declared. From this day forward, the main family and branch house will no longer exist. We shall become the Hyuga family, the elders proclaimed. With the elders' resignation, their aged bodies appeared even wearier. Depression loomed over them. However, nobody paid attention to their old age at that moment. As the news of the decision spread, the branch house members erupted in joyous celebration. They cheered, expressing their relief and freedom from the oppressive system. Messages were quickly sent to inform the entire Hyuga clan, and tears of joy streamed down the faces of countless branch house members. In contrast, the main family members wore mournful expressions. They understood that without the distinction of the branch house, they would need to take on missions and face the battlefield without personal protection. They would have to rely solely on themselves. Hyuga Hiyashi refused to spare any kindness to these indulgent family members, ordering some clansmen to send them away. With the matter settled, Ryan prepared to leave with his two pensive apprentices. However, before departing, he turned back and spoke to Hiyashi, reminding him of a crucial task. After you return, I will send the sealing team to assist in releasing the caged bird seal, Ryan instructed. Make sure to coordinate with the clan elders. With his instructions given, Ryan left the Hyuga clan alongside Shisui. Hiyashi readily agreed to the assistance of the Konoha sealing class, realizing that relying solely on a few clan elders to release the seal might take an indefinite amount of time. He also feared that the elders might change their minds over time. After respectfully bidding farewell to Ryan, Hiyashi turned his gaze to Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi, who stood beside the new Hokage. In his eyes, a bright light flickered. No, I can't let the Uchiha clan take all the advantages. Hiyashi thought to himself. My Hyuga clan must follow Hokage Sama's lead. With this determination, Hiyashi immediately sought out his younger brother, Hizashi. He asked him if there was a suitable candidate within the clan. Hizashi, understanding Hiyashi's intentions upon seeing Shisui and Itachi, quickly caught on. Brother, do you want me to find a talented individual? Hizashi inquired. Yes, that's right, Hiyashi confirmed. Hizashi's mind raced, formulating a plan to find a talented member within the clan who could become Ryan's disciple. Once accomplished, their Hyuga family would be firmly bound to the Hokage lineage. Brother, give me some time, Hizashi requested. Alright, but be careful. They must possess the talent and a respectable appearance, Hiyashi cautioned. With their roles established, Hiyashi then turned his attention to the caged bird seal. Several clan elders began the process of removing the seal from the branch house members. Meanwhile, Ryan and his apprentices made their way back to the Hokage building. With the Uchiha and Hyuga clans now firmly under his command, Ryan couldn't help but feel a surge of confidence for the upcoming second assembly. With the two major clans of Konoha aligned with him, and other influential families such as the Ino Shikacho already on his side, civilian ninjas were sure to follow suit. Additionally, with powerful individuals like Minato, Hitaki, Tsunade, Orochimaru, and Kushina, who was soon to become the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, the village's top combat strength was formidable. Ryan felt that his position was on par with the world of the fifth Hokage, Tsunade. The first and second Hokage's worlds remained uncertain, but it was likely that his own position surpassed theirs. As for the other Hokage world that had not yet joined the chat group, it probably couldn't compare to his own. With these thoughts in mind, Ryan promptly contacted Minato. Senju clan land. Brother, why is this happening? Why are the Sarutobi and Shimura clans suddenly being driven out of Konoha? Didn't I already send those two brats back to their respective families? At that moment, Senju Tobirama looked puzzled. Before Hashirama told him to kick away both Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo, Tobirama agreed without hesitation. But now, Hashirama wants to banish the two families from Konoha. This left Senju Tobirama unable to comprehend. What could have caused his elder brother to treat these two families in such a manner? If you don't give me a reason, I won't agree this time. Having said that, he sat directly in front of Hashirama, taking a stance that he would not leave without an explanation today. Observing this, Hashirama shook his head helplessly. Lately, Hashirama had been contemplating the group discussions. Anticipating the upcoming second meeting, he wondered what kind of leaderboard mode would be introduced. According to Hashirama, Konoha currently stands as the strongest among the 5 major countries. By then, his world would secure the top rank. However, during his deliberations, the first Hokage, Hashirama, stumbled upon a realization. The Sarutobi and Shimura families, these two clans, they could bring such misery upon Konoha in the future. And even dared to eradicate the Senju and Uchiha clans. Both my own and Madara's families would be wiped out. According to the first Hokage's deductions, these two families must be spy clans sent by rival villages. Having resided in Konoha for an extended period, they aimed to dismantle Konoha from within, for how else could they execute those unimaginable covert operations? Yet, with no concrete evidence at hand, Hashirama had no choice but to settle for a secondary approach. Simply driving the two families out of Konoha. Gazing at Tobirama, who adamantly refused to budge, Hashirama had no choice but to address the matter while hiding the matter of group chat. When I was studying the mystical arts, I encountered the Sage of Six Paths and witnessed the future of Konoha. All the important events were revealed to me. Upon hearing Hashirama's words, Tobirama froze momentarily. However, upon examining Hashirama's expression, Tobirama discerned that his elder brother did not appear to be lying. As a younger brother, he can instantly detect if his elder brother is deceiving him. Therefore, Tobirama realized at that moment that Hashirama was sincere in his claims. Brother, are the mystical arts truly so incredible? Being unfamiliar with such magic, Tobirama gazed at Hashirama with genuine curiosity. Witnessing this, Hashirama solemnly nodded. Observing this, Senju Tobirama had no choice but to relent. Since that's the case, worry not, big brother. I'll take care of it. How could we let them leave Konoha so easily? Having said that, he promptly left the Senju clan land. Observing this, Hashirama felt a sense of relief. With Tobirama handling it, things would undoubtedly be dealt with properly. Now that the hidden threat within Konoha was on the verge of being resolved, his world could take the lead. Contemplating this, Hashirama's mood gradually improved. He wondered how this global leaderboard would benefit him. May it bring forth favorable outcomes. On the other side, amid Hashirama's elevated spirits, the Sarutobi and Shimura clans faced their impending doom. Within the two families, which were still relatively small, it would be easy for Senju Tobirama to annihilate them. Soon, an enchantment swiftly enclosed the two clans. Countless figures infiltrated the barrier. The two future prominent families vanished instantly, as though they had never existed in this world before. On the other side, in the world of the second Hokage, a month had flown by. At the gates of Konoha village, the second Hokage stood amidst a gathering of numerous ninjas. One particular group stood out due to their distinct attire, as if embarking on a lengthy journey. Hiruzen, I appreciate your efforts thus far. When you return, Konoha village will rely on you. This team consisted of Sarutobi Hiruzen and others who were about to depart for the land of thunder to ally with the Cloud Shinobi village. Upon hearing the words of the second Hokage, Tobirama, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't contain his excitement. They were merely going to sign the alliance contract and then return to Konoha. Despite being the future third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen still felt a sense of humility at present. With sincerity, he promptly responded, "Rest assured, sensei. I will ensure the mission is accomplished." Observing Sarutobi Hiruzen's serious demeanor, the second Hokage's face bore an inexplicable smile, but he quickly concealed it. However, the facade still needed to be maintained. After patting Sarutobi Hiruzen on the shoulder, Tobirama removed the Hokage hat from his head, presenting it solemnly to Sarutobi Hiruzen. "Do not disgrace Konoha, third Hokage." As a result, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes filled with determination, gazing at the Hokage symbol in his hands. At that moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen found himself entranced. "This is how I fulfill my dream of becoming Hokage." Meanwhile, Shimura Danzo, his eyes were nearly bulging from their sockets with jealousy. Especially when he beheld the Hokage hat now in Sarutobi Hiruzen's possession, he struggled to hide his envy. That was the position symbolizing the Hokage. However, it was a pity that he was not the one receiving it. He could only watch as Sarutobi Hiruzen donned the hat upon his head. At that moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt an even greater surge of energy. "Fear not, sensei. We will show the Cloud Shinobi village the true spirit of Konoha." The second Hokage smiled and nodded in response. Shortly after Sarutobi Hiruzen and his team departed, the second Hokage swiftly returned to the Hokage's office, where several ninjas from the Senju clan had already gathered. "Patriarch, everything is prepared." Hashirama, the first Hokage, had been deceased for many years. Tobirama had assumed the position of Patriarch, and in response to the Patriarch's orders, all members of the Senju clan obeyed without question. Upon hearing this, the second Hokage, Tobirama, also nodded. "Let us proceed tonight. We must act swiftly. Execute." Nightfall arrived. Under the leadership of the second Hokage, Tobirama, a ninja from the Senju clan approached the Sarutobi clan. Observing the Sarutobi clan's jubilation over Sarutobi Hiruzen becoming Hokage, the second Hokage's expression remained unchanged. He appeared as though he was observing a group of lifeless individuals. "Commence the operation." The moment the order was received, all the ninjas of the Senju clan immediately launched an attack on the Sarutobi clan, who were in the midst of their celebration. Kill! Countless figures descended upon the Sarutobi clan in an instant. As the uninvited guests suddenly appeared before them, the Sarutobi clan was caught off guard, momentarily frozen in place. This was Konoha, the strongest ninja village in the world. So the Sarutobi clan never even considered the possibility of an enemy attack. After all, who would dare assassinate a family that was under the protection of the Hokage? "Who are you? You weren't invited to the celebration, were you? Do you have a special mission?" The second Hokage is still in the village. Amid their confusion and curiosity, the intruders brandished their ninja swords, glistening with a cold light. Slash! Slash! In an instant, multiple lives were lost, and the members of the Sarutobi clan members were left breathless, their expressions frozen in shock. The ground was stained with countless drops of blood. "Damn it, it's the enemy! Enemy attack! Enemy attack! What is the Uchiha clan doing? How did so enemy dare to infiltrate Konoha? Go and inform the second Hokage." Faced with the sudden onslaught of enemies, panic spread like wildfire among the Sarutobi clan. Their faces turned pale, and their expressions filled with fear. However, due to the ongoing celebration, many of them were inebriated, which slowed their reactions even further. Moreover, they were facing the most elite ninjas of the Senju clan. After several rounds of battle, not a single member of the Sarutobi clan was left alive. The entire Sarutobi clan had been wiped out. And at that moment, just outside the Sarutobi clan, several Senju ninjas maintaining the barrier nodded to the second Hokage beside them. The second Hokage, awaiting the outcome, also nodded in response. Though his expression remained unchanged, the iron-willed second Hokage would show no mercy to the culprits responsible for wiping out the Senju clan in the future. Once the battlefield was cleaned up, the second Hokage led his forces back to the Shimura clan. What awaited them there was the same fate that befell the Sarutobi clan. Meanwhile, on the way to the Cloud Shinobi village, everyone, move faster. After signing the alliance agreement as soon as possible, we'll return to the village. Sarutobi Hiruzen led the team, pushing them forward relentlessly. They didn't stop for a moment. To avoid exhaustion, they took ration pills to maintain their energy. Their goal was to reach the signing ceremony location as quickly as possible. There was nothing amiss within the Sarutobi clan. However, the ninjas from the Danzo and Shimura clans were reluctant. "Hiruzen, this rushed pace won't lead us anywhere. Take a break. Let's rest for a while, it won't hurt. The team is exhausted." Upon hearing Danzo's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had envisioned returning to the village and officially becoming the Hokage, frowned. He glanced at Danzo with dissatisfaction, as his beautiful aspirations were interrupted. "Have you forgotten what our teacher told us? We must hurry to demonstrate Konoha's sincerity. If we are late to peace talks in front of Second Hokage, what kind of impression will that leave?" Facing Sarutobi Hiruzen's explanation, Danzo didn't listen to a word. As a longtime companion, Sarutobi Hiruzen knew all too well what Danzo was thinking. It might sound reasonable now, but deep down Danzo knew Hiruzen wanted to return to Konoha quickly and sit on the Hokage's throne. And the more Sarutobi Hiruzen pushed, the more displeased Danzo became. "Why should you be the Hokage? I, Danzo, am just as capable. Then take your Sarutobi clan and go ahead. As a member of the Shimura clan, I need to rest." With that, he disregarded Sarutobi Hiruzen and stopped in his tracks. The ninjas of the Shimura clan also halted, following Danzo's lead. This caused Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had recently become the third Hokage, to lose face instantly. As he looked at the Sarutobi clan members behind him, watching his every move, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt anger welling up inside him. "Danzo, what are you trying to do? I am the leader of this team. And I am the third Hokage, entrusted by our teacher. If you're dissatisfied, wait until the mission is completed, and then you can report back to our teacher. But for now, as the third Hokage, I order you to keep moving." At that moment, he glared at Danzo even more fiercely. At this point, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't afford to consider the close friendship they once shared. He was now the one sitting on the Hokage's throne, and Danzo had no choice but to obey. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly assert himself, using his status as the Hokage to suppress him, Danzo stared at Sarutobi Hiruzen with unwillingness in his eyes. But after a while, it was Danzo who finally bowed his head first. This is military tactics. If you can't take orders from your superior, you do not belong in the military. Witnessing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered the team to continue, maintaining a blank expression. As for Danzo, despite his reluctance, he had no other option but to comply. Soon, the team resumed their rapid pace under Sarutobi Hiruzen's lead. And they arrived at the alliance ceremony site ahead of schedule. However, to their surprise, the place was eerily deserted. The preparations for the alliance ceremony were in place, but there was no one there. Seeing this scene, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. Danzo, by his side, quickly became vigilant. "Hiruzen, something is amiss. I know." Their experiences from following the second Hokage into battle had taught them to be cautious. There was something wrong here. Realizing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered the team to be on high alert. But before they could react, several figures swiftly surrounded Sarutobi Hiruzen and his team. "TCH, I thought the second Hokage would be here. Brother, this kid is wearing the Hokage hat. He must be the new Hokage, right?" Approaching them were the Cloud Shinobi brothers, Golden Horn and Silver Horn. They were accompanied by their elite troops. Observing the arrival of the Golden Horn and Silver Horn brothers, Sarutobi Hiruzen's instincts told him that trouble was brewing. These two lunatics were capable of anything. Though it was an alliance ceremony, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but say, "I am Sarutobi Hiruzen, the third Hokage of Konoha. We are here for the alliance ceremony. What is the meaning of this, Cloud Shinobi village? Where is the second Hokage?" In response to Sarutobi Hiruzen's inquiries, the two brothers exchanged glances and sneered. Their faces were filled with mockery. "Alliance? Are you joking? Who would want to ally with you, Konoha? As for the second Hokage, we brothers will send you to meet him soon enough." Before Sarutobi Hiruzen could react, the surrounding Cloud Shinobi ruthlessly launched an attack on his team. The Golden Horn and Silver Horn brothers headed straight for Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo. And thus, the battle erupted instantaneously. A few days had passed since Sarutobi Hiruzen led the team to Cloud Shinobi village to form an alliance, but no news had come back. Even the Sarutobi and Shimura clans had disappeared overnight. These events caused panic to instantly spread throughout Konoha village. The prominent families were discussing it, and everyone was guessing what had happened. In Konoha village, Tobirama had been able to discreetly resolve the problems of the two families without anyone noticing. So, the enemy must have quietly dealt with the Sarutobi and Shimura families. Could it be possible that their families were eliminated? This thought caused a moment of panic among all the families. Soon, news arrived from Cloud Shinobi Village. The Gold and Silver brothers had led a coup with their elite troops, killing the second Hokage and then targeting Konoha Village's allies. In the final battle, the Konoha alliance team had been wiped out. The younger brother, Silverhorn, had died in battle, while the older brother, Golden Horn, was seriously injured and disappeared. The other villages and shinobi learned of these events, and this time Konoha had even sent the newly selected third Hokage. Ha ha ha, Konoha has suffered significant losses. The young Hokage is missing. Konoha is in pain this time. Zuzuzu, I really want to see Senju Tobarama's expression. For a while, the entire ninja world eagerly awaited Konoha's downfall. But at this time, Senju Tobarama, the second Hokage, remained unconcerned. He had played a significant role in bringing about these events. Tobarama continued to oversee Konoha with the support of everyone. Spread the news that Konoha village has not chosen the third Hokage. It's all fake news. Soon, Senju Tobarama's orders spread to all countries in the ninja world, sparking discussions in various ninja villages. For a while, the senior officials of each village couldn't comprehend Tobarama's intentions. However, they all realized that this time Tobarama had refrained from participating. Otherwise, it would have been Tobarama who perished. Perhaps they could take advantage of this situation and gain something from Konoha. But for now, Senju Tobarama, the #1 shinobi in the ninja world, remained alive and well. They couldn't afford to make fun of themselves either. Inside the Hokage office in Konoha village. Second Hokage, will the Hokage rock for the third Hokage continue to be carved? The person in charge of the engineering department stood carefully in front of the second Hokage. Hearing this question, Tobarama, who was still processing documents, couldn't help but raise his head. He looked at the person in charge in front of him. Seeing Tobarama's grave expression, the person quickly realized their mistake. Sorry, second Hokage, I was confused. The third Hokage has not been selected yet. Seeing the person in charge's reaction, Tobarama waved his hand, signaling for them to leave. After dealing with the files at hand, Tobarama couldn't help but look back at Konoha. His own destiny had been completely changed. It was now time to think about the upcoming second meeting when the world ranking would be announced. He wondered where his world would rank. With these thoughts in mind, a bright light flashed in Tobarama's eyes. He wasn't sure what was going on in his mind. In the fifth Hokage Tsunade's world, the whole of Konoha was waiting under her command. All the teams that had gone on missions had been recalled. Have all the teams been recalled? Yes, Master Tsunade. Hearing Shizun's answer, Tsunade felt relieved. Konoha was now facing a formidable enemy, Pain, and even Tsunade was concerned. Although Jiraiya had sent back information, the enemy could strike at any moment. Tsunade wasn't sure if they could hold out until the second meeting was called. However, Naruto had been sent to Mount Myoboku to learn Senjutsu, and all the other Konoha shinobi had been recalled. Tsunade believed they should be able to hold on until reinforcements arrived. She could only pray that the meeting would be held soon. As for the world ranking function, Tsunade didn't have the mood to think about it. Jiraiya's high combat power had been lost, so she doubted her world would rank highly. It was better not to dwell on it and focus on cross-border mutual assistance instead. In Ryan's Hokage world, Minato finally received a reply from Jiraiya. Master Hokage, Mr. Jiraiya has sent a message. Upon receiving the reply, Minato came to Ryan and handed him the information from Jiraiya. Jiraiya. Minato, tell Ryan that I have found the Akatsuki organization here. Surprisingly, the leader of the Akatsuki organization is really one of the 3 children I taught after the Second Shinobi War. I explained your plans and goals to Yahiko, and they showed great interest. I approached the 3 of them, and now they have agreed to bring the Akatsuki organization back to Konoha with me. Minato, when you receive this message, we are already on our way back to Konoha. We'll reach Konoha soon. Reading the content of the information, Ryan couldn't help but feel happy. This was excellent news. With the Akatsuki organization under their control, they could further strengthen Konoha. Ryan believed that his world would rank highly in the upcoming world ranking function, possibly even reaching the top spot. The only potential rival he considered was the world of the first Hokage. However, Ryan believed his own world would surpass it. They would have to wait for the world ranking function to be activated to know for sure. As time went by, Ryan was in his office contemplating how to continue strengthening Konoha when the system's prompt suddenly sounded in his mind. The chat group meeting has been initiated. Would you like to start the second meeting? It's time, Ryan said, a smile forming on his face. 3 months had passed quickly, but now that the remake was over, Ryan didn't hesitate. Initiate. THSTA all for now. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments.